All right, hello and welcome back to another episode of Visual Novelty. We are going to be continuing The Mermaid's Curse, obviously. You've probably seen this thumbnail or whatever. So, let's see. Try to do a little recap of what happened last week. We reached the end of... Well, I guess I can't say it's like the end of anything because more things happened. But we finally conquered the Curse of the Raging Waves. So... to try to be brief and not spend 30 minutes on this like I do sometimes, what we did last week is Yuza got with Yumiko, and because Yumiko has all the pieces and she knows how to break the Curse of the Raging Waves, so she got with Yuza, explained it to him, kind of explains to him what an 800-year immortal is and kind of like what he is, and we find out, that he knows that he's figured it out. And he asked some pretty interesting questions, I will say, about death and how it works. Like if he were to be dissolved in a vat of acid or have his entire body incinerated or whatever, what would happen then? And then he also asks well, what if his head is separated from his body? And because Yumiko ends up saying that the body will grow back from where the heart is. So that kind of says something about how Yuzo, when he lost his head, how he would have come back, because he did come back. And it would have been that his head grew back from his body then, because it starts from the heart, the closest place to the heart. And then Yuza's would that change your personality? Because, it's thought that the personality and, everyone's memories are stored within their head. So Yumiko kind of humors him or whatever and is yeah, well, I guess it could be that you would have a different personality and you might be a completely different person. But the weird thing about that is that we have this moment here, Accepted Fate, where Yuza has died and come back with his head chopped off, and he seems to remember everything just fine. So I wonder why they had that. They must have had that in the story for a reason, so let's just keep that in mind as we go forward, because I think that might come up, might be a little bit of a Chekhov's gun kind of situation maybe. Anyways, so Yuza and Azumi go out to the spot where the Tomokazuki was, because they, theorized that that must be where the entrance to Ryugu is. And when Yuza goes down there, the Tomokazuki's gone, and there's no current pushing out of that hole anymore, so he's able to swim down into the hole. So he goes all the way down there, and there's this air pocket that he gets to, and then he turns his flashlight on, and we see this very interesting looking rock formation of these two curved spike things that kind of look like a portal, and they are the portal that's on the main menu of the screen, or the main menu screen of the game. It is the entrance to Ryugu. So we end up turning our flashlight off again because I think Yuza kind of feels a presence in there, and it turns out that there's this sort of shade of Hayase still in there, and then he turns his light back on and can still see it very easily. And yeah, so Hayase's ghost is sitting there in the entrance to Ryugu. So I believe Yuza presents the curse stone in the mirror to Hayase, and says something about that he's come here to break the curse or whatever, and kind of request the curse to be lifted and for Hayase to leave and finally let this place be at peace. And that seems to work. Yuza comes back, and all the psychics are yeah, I can feel it. It's not here anymore. Everything's good. That's great. It seems everything's fine and dandy, and the story should be over. It almost feels like. But then Yuza, earlier in the story, I guess I glossed over this, but had talked to Mr. Wakamura, and he was the rich guy that's been trying to break the curse for a little while. And when Wakamura heard that he was the one that had to break the curse, and how Yuza fit into this whole thing, how his mother was actually a descendant of the victims of Taishima, because he thought Yuza's mother must be from the Heike or whatever, the people who killed everybody on Taishima, the reason why the curse exists, because she was on that ship when the storm hit 5 years ago. But then Yuza defends his mother, and he's well, I've read over every piece of newspaper, and I think that there's actually maybe a chance that there's some other reason why the curse happened 5 years ago. So we look at the newspaper, us as the viewer, and we read it, and we find that one of the ships had record of someone being on it, but they didn't know, like, the person's identity was unknown. And so we pointed out and say, like, well, there was a person that we don't know who it is, and maybe they were the curse bearer, the curse of raging waves, and so maybe they were actually the reason, and it wasn't his mother at all, because his mother was out there to try to dispel it. She just failed, but I guess she failed because of the storm. But we kind of get some hints at who that person would be. But anyway, so after Yuza breaks the curse, Azumi's like, hey, you should go to Wakamura's house and tell him about the fact that you were able to break the curse, and he should, treat you as a hero, because I think he offers to, like, I don't know, like, help, like, make his reputation known that he's the savior of Kamishima. And so Yuza and Azumi, they kind of seem to, like, wait around a while, but that night they go to Wakamura's house, and he is dead on the floor, just completely chopped in half. So it looks like the curse of the Tomoshige must have gotten to him somehow, which was the curse stone that Kikuko, I always say Kikuko had. But it's weird because Kikuko had her curse taken away by Avi and Cersei, and then given to Yumiko. So it almost seems to indict Yumiko as maybe a person who killed him. Of course, she wouldn't have. She had no reason to. So either way, he's dead. So that's crazy. And then I think that's kind of where we leave off with Yuza. And now we're at this point here, which is we need a plan, which we didn't have until we had done some of the other stuff. So I'll get to that. So now we went to, I think we went to Avi's perspective. And I'm trying to remember the order of things. I guess it doesn't matter too much as long as I get all the information in there. But Avi and Cersei are looking for Ikoma, or they're supposed to go back and find Ikoma on the mainland, but they end up staying in town too long. And so now it's nighttime now. And so they're kind of like talking about, like, well, we should get like a place to sleep, I guess, and maybe some dinner or whatever. And then who should show up behind Cersei but Ikoma? And so, like, just a brief, like, reminder, Ikoma is the businessman who they were dealing with on the mainland, who sort of led them to Somikawa, which was Yuza's sister, and she's the one that had the Tame Tobacco. So it's the, like, if it wasn't for Ikoma, they would never have gotten the Tame Tobacco. So, and Ikoma was a very kind of like a shady businessman. He is like a business of one. He's the CEO of his own business, and it's like what would you call it? Like a tourism sort of company. And so he's always acting like he's doing research for tourism stuff to try to to raise the tourism in the area. But he's actually really interested in mermaids or whatever. So and he's apparently the one that gave Kikuko that curse stone. Because Kikuko tells us that, I guess. And he has, okay, yeah, so and Kikuko's curse stone was activated by having a specific symbol on anything that was on a person. If they had that symbol on them in their possession, then the curse could be activated and it would chop them in half. So somehow Wakamura must have had that symbol on him if it was that curse. So basically it indicts Ikoma as being, the person who must have had the curse stone, and he must know about it, and because he puts it on his business card. And the Kikuko is using it on the mirrors, just as a reminder. Anyways, I guess that doesn't totally matter, but Ikoma's there, so they talk to Ikoma, and Avi tries to confront him about this stuff. He's like, hey, we were almost killed by this girl because she was using that symbol on your business card. And Ikoma's like, whoa, what the hell are you talking about, dude? I don't know. Girl? Who? What? What do you mean, man? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And he kind of like half convinces Avi that maybe he doesn't know anything and that she was lying or something like that. And he's like, okay, maybe, I guess. And he finds out that Ikoma is looking for Sato. And we don't really understand why. He doesn't really dig into why, but he just understands that that's what he's doing. And he's like, okay, well, we don't know where she is, so see you later, I guess. And then after that, he ends up running into Yumiko. And they're talking to Yumiko, and, well, I guess I can take a step back, switch over to Yumiko's perspective. She's talking to Yuza after he had completed his mission, right? Like, I'm trying to remember exactly when it happens. Either way, it's after Yuza completes his mission, Yumiko, she's doing something, and she ends up getting notified that she has a phone call, and she goes over to the phone call, and yeah, I think it was right after Yuza completed his mission. And it's Ide, which is the cop on the mainland that she's been working with the investigations, and he's talking about how Mr. Shiranami had died. Here, I start going to these profiles. I'm sorry, not Shiranami. That's the wrong person. That's Sato's last name. What's his name? Yamashina. Yoshiatsu Yamashina. Apparently he was found dead in his house, and he was like cut in half. And he was like in some cell in his house or whatever that looked like it was like a containment cell or something like that. So it's like a very small area. And he was just like totally dead. And Ikoma's car had been seen at his house earlier in the day. So that like makes Yumiko immediately think like, oh, I guess it must have been Ikoma that killed him, using a curse or whatever. He must be able to use this curse without actually having the curse stone, you know. So she kind of starts putting these things together, and so she's like, shit, we need to make sure we look for this Ikoma guy. And so that leads to then later in the evening, she sees Avi after Avi saw Ikoma, and she tells him about this. It's like, well, Ikoma was just there earlier, and now the old man's dead, so we're pretty sure he's a murderer. So if you see him again, like, we need to, you know, do something about it. Need to catch him or something. And while they're there talking about it and talking about like, okay, so you guys are gonna go try to find Sato, since he's looking for Sato, and try to make sure she's okay, and we're gonna go try to find Ikoma, or then maybe some other people are gonna try to find Ikoma, and then I think Yumiko is going to go to Wakamura to his body and investigate or something like that. But during that conversation, who should walk by in the distance a little bit but Ikoma, and then that gives Yumiko an opportunity to look at him with her mermaid eyes and see that he's a 800-year immortal. So it turns out he's been alive for a long time, and so he, you know, we kind of put two and two together. We find out that he has been indeed taking the identity of this dead man, whose actual name was Kipe Ikoma. So this guy's name, you know, is not. So after that, we leave that scene, and then we came back as Sato. Let's go to Sato's profile. And Sato was hanging out in the ruins that she always hangs out in to try to be alone. And Ikoma finds her there. And so then we have this whole like reveal, you know, that Sato knows who he is, that they know each other from a long time ago, from like 800 years ago. And it turns out that he is actually Tomoshige, which was the member of the Taira clan, and the Hike or whatever, that was taken down. And when they were taken down, he had vowed to, because he wasn't even there when his clan like lost that decisive battle, so he wanted to like bring his clan back. It became like his obsession, and he kind of like, I don't know what the word is for it. It's like entrapped Sato or whatever. He seemed to became like enamored with her at some point in his life, and then he like convinced himself that they were in love, and he kept Sato around him. But it sounds like Sato never liked him, and she maybe was just kind of powerless because he's like a samurai guy or whatever, you know, some like tough soldier guy who was trying to force himself on her or whatever. But he's like convinced that they were in love. And let me see, I'm trying to make sure I say this in order. So he actually tried to make him and Sato immortal at one point, and they went out and found they had the Tommy Tobacco because he had known about this, like, oh, there's this mermaid flesh in this box, and it's been in this like storage for forever. So he goes and gets the box, and it's the Tommy Tobacco, and it's got a little bit of mermaid flesh in it, but it's like super old. So he ends up, I think, having Sato eat a little bit of it, or no, maybe he eats a little bit of it, but then nothing happens, and he's like, oh, well, maybe it's too old and it's lost its effectiveness, so whatever. And so he just takes the box with him, and he takes Sato with him, and he's hoping the box will get a mermaid to like come and be lured to their boat. I believe, if I'm not getting this incorrect. And then so while they're out there in the ocean, a mermaid does come, and she starts like screaming for the box and starts like getting on the boat and starts, you know, trying to get the box from them. And during that, I believe Tomoshige ends up slicing her and gets like a piece of her tail falls off, and she goes, you know, runs back into the water. And then he like I think momentarily thinks about eating the tail, but he's like, you know what? I think this is not enough. And so he puts it in the Tame Tobacco box for safekeeping and then wants to try to go pursue the mermaid, but I think he can't end up finding her. And they get surrounded by mist at a certain point. So then he ends up he kind of chickens out, it sounds like, and has Sato eat some of the tail and nothing happens to her. And then I think he ends up eating some of it too, somehow. And, but as they go to like leave, because they still like I think they don't feel any change, so he's like really skeptical that they've actually eaten enough flesh and they can't find the mermaid again. So I think they're gonna leave or something like that. I might be getting some of these details a little bit wrong. But the point is that they end up finding out, like, in the mist they were surrounded by the rival clan that took down his clan in the first place, and they both get killed right there in the water. Like Sato gets like a arrow through her neck or something like that and falls into the water, and then Tomoshige like tries to fight, but ultimately falls in the water and dies. I mean, I think he was in like full samurai gear too, so of course he probably sank like a rock. But then what they both reveal to each other in the conversation is that Tomoshige, well, they didn't know each other was immortal. You know, they both end up coming out of the water at some point because they're immortal and they can just keep reviving even though they're drowning or whatever. And they both end up coming out at different places. And Sato ends up becoming this like adopted princess sort of thing, and ends up on Taishima with the mermaids, you know, and then we know the rest of the story from there. I won't have to go into that again. And then I guess Tomoshige came out somewhere else and was trying his entire life to bring his clan back and try to figure out some way of getting power. But now that it's like all the way into like almost the modern day, I think this is like in the 80s or something, he's like found this like, man, now power isn't just about being able to kill people, and it's about all these things that are even harder for me to get, and it just seems like I'm never going to be able to get the power I want, and I'm starting to become like hopeless. Like he's never going to do what he wants to do. Here, let me switch over to his where's he at? There he is. His face, so you see what I'm talking about. And so when then he finally heard that Sato exists, and he understood who Sato was, he's like, oh man, this is like fate then. So it must be that I was always destined to find Sato, and we were destined to die together because we were both about to run out of time because we became immortals at the same time. So if I'm about to die, she's about to die, and we should be together when we die because we were in love. So that's why he's been looking for her at this moment, as soon as he found out she existed. But the problem is that he couldn't just go to Kamishima. So she was actually in a perfect place to have washed up on Kamishima, because since Ikoma, I'll just keep calling him that, or I guess I can say Tomoshige, was part of that clan that had like massacred Taishima. He like represented the target of the Curse of the Raging Wave. So anytime he got close to the Taishima or Kamishima, since they're right next to each other, the storm would happen, and so he was never able to go to Kamishima. So he ends up like saying to Avi earlier in the story, he's like, oh, you know, I'm like afraid of the water, and I can't do that or whatever. But the reason why is because anytime he's gotten close, the Curse of the Raging Waves ends up making a huge storm and killing people. So that kind of like says he was the other person on that boat 5 years ago when Yusa's mother and father died or whatever, when all those people died. So he's actually sort of the curse bearer, but he's not really the bearer of it, it sounds like, as much as he is the target of the curse. So because he's still from that clan, but he's immortal, so he can't be killed by it. So it sounds like it's kind of interesting, because it sounds like really the Curse of the Raging Waves wasn't ever going to be triggered. It sounds like it's only triggered when Tomoshige was around, and if Tomoshige was going to die soon, then the curse maybe would have just remained dormant because there was no one to trigger it anymore. So I mean, I don't know, that's just kind of like me putting some stuff together there. But either way, it's good that I think that Yusa put Hayase's soul to rest, and maybe even like sort of reopen the portal to Ryugu, kind of restoring it to its original state in some way. But yeah, so we learn that stuff, and then he's like telling Sato, like, you have to come with me and we have to die together because we're in love. And Sato's like, actually, I never loved you, dude. And he's like, yeah, but you kept that mirror. That mirror I gave you was a symbol of our love, and you had it even after, you know, all this stuff happened. You had it this whole time or whatever. He's like, that must mean that you love me. And then she thinks to herself, she's like, well, actually, I just kept the mirror because I forgot who I was when I came out of the water, and it was the only possession I still had, and so it was a symbol of whoever I was before, and I didn't want to lose that. And that's why she kept it. It wasn't because she was in love with Tomoshige. And so then you get to decide whether or not Sato goes with him or not. And well, I think she says no at first, I should say. And then he gives her this ultimatum where he's like, well, if you're not going to come with me, then I'm going to make you come with me. And she's like, how can you do that? It's not like you can go ahead and try to kill me with your curse or whatever, but I'm an immortal, so it doesn't really matter. And he's like, yeah, I'm not stupid. I know you're an immortal. I'm not going to kill you, dumbass. I'm going to kill everybody here. And she's like, whoa, what the hell? And he's like, yeah, I've been around this island all day talking to people, handing out my business card, and I can kill them all in an instant because they all have his business card, which has that symbol on it. And so that does kind of get to Sato, and so then you get to decide, is Sato going to go with Tomoshige and try to, like, I guess save everybody but sacrifice herself by having to spend her final moments with this loser creep, or is she going to still say no and I see what the consequences are or whatever? So I chose no, but it looks like, because the story part isn't grayed out yet, that you could say yes and perhaps something different would happen. His real name is what it's called. So I had Sato say no for now, so we're gonna like end up going down the timeline where she refuses him. So he might end up killing people. Maybe that's why Wakamuda dies. I'm not sure. Wakamuda definitely probably talked to Ikoma and got his business card, so I'm sure that's how he had the symbol on him and had the curse used on him anyway. But right now I think we are going to come back to, we need a plan, which is Yuza and the gang, I think, trying to find out where Sato is because they know that Ikoma's looking for her. So hopefully they'll be able to intervene before Ikoma can do anything. But either way, at this point in the timeline, Wakamuda's dead. So I guess that means he didn't die because of what Sato did. He died because maybe Wakamuda wouldn't give up where Sato was or something. I'm not sure. But he definitely must have been killed by Ikoma before he found Sato. Before Ikoma found Sato. So yeah, that's where we are now. Man, it still took like almost 30 minutes, didn't it? Gosh, I'm not very fast. There's so much that happens in the story. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with, we need a plan. We're gonna be Yuza, and it looks like oh, all of a sudden I forgot her name. Damn it. Tsukasa, it's right there on the screen. Yeah, it looks like Tsukasa's gonna be there, so that's cool. Alright, summary of previous events. After discovering the corpse of Shinobu Wakamuda, Yuza and Azami realize that the threat of the curses still remains. They meet up with Sato and Tsukasa and gather at a place of their childhood days to discuss what to do next. And the place of their childhood days would be the ruins that Sato was in when Ikoma found her. So maybe that means that they're going to find them there, or maybe they'll have already left. We'll see. Alright, here we go. Oh, you know, I forgot to check. Make sure all the audio is good, but it looks good. Okay, Tsukasa.
What? You can't be serious! Old man Wakamuda was murdered?
Seems that way. I called the police to look into it. It probably has something to do with the slashing curse. That's weird because Sato's here and everything. I wonder what happened. That means whoever is causing the curse is on the island at this very moment.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
I thought they'd already found the curse stone and was causing this to happen. But it looks like we're not out of danger yet. Right, because he's talking about how Avi and Cersei got this curse stone away from Kikuko. Because Yuza knows what that one does because he had a vision when he touched the Tomokazuki of the bad ending. The tragedy of Kamishima.
This is too much. So the curse is still hanging around? How does that even happen?
I'm trying to use my Steam controller today because I got that the other day. So we'll see if that's better than the, or at least as good as the mouse. The Kantekisho at night. There's no sound other than the wind in the trees and the distant tide. But an anxious feeling grips my chest at the thought of what might lurk behind the stillness. Nope, that's not what I meant. It's already screwing me up. Just seeing if there's another bird sticker. You know, we gotta look for the mockingbirds. Check the top, check the bottom. I don't see nothing. It seems like a very serious situation to be looking for bird stickers. I know, but bear with me. Let's take a look at Tsukasa. She hasn't seen the corpse for herself, so the reality of the situation still hasn't sunk in. I told her before that everything was going to be okay, so it's no wonder that she's shocked by this news. Yeah, you liar, Yuza. You son of a bitch. I'm sure he's thinking about what to do next, about how to keep everyone on the island. Or sorry, about how to help everyone on the island. Azumi always worries about everyone else before he worries about himself. He's a really good guy. He does seem like a really good guy. I agree. Anything else to look at? Okay, Sato. Ordinarily bright and cheerful, she says nothing as the darkness clouds her features. Even she can't hide her concerns now that the situation has become so dire. No recollection. I thought I could avoid speaking to her, but I don't know if I can hold back anymore. Unlock past recollection chapter. Natural talent. Looks like that might be tied to when they were both out here standing on top of the ruins. Because there was a scene we had before where they seemed to not really know each other very well, but they ended up meeting on top of the ruins. I think it's time to talk to some people. I guess we should think first. Oh shoot, let me make sure my thing's working here. Hello, hello. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Hello? Yeah, it's working. Cool. Let me bring my overlay up so I know when the voice is on. Sorry, I usually try to do this before. Boom. There we go. Okay, cool. Hopefully I won't leave the voice on for too long at any point. Alright, let's think. After finding Mr. Wakamoto's mangled corpse, we called Shotaro straight away and asked him to inform Miss Shiki of the situation. God, look how freaking freaked out Shotaro is. Poor guy. This is his dad. I forgot he did show up and tell us about Wakamoto's fate when we were playing as Yumiko, talking to Avi. With the crime scene under investigation, we made our way out here to find Tsukasa and Sato. I had a feeling that the killer's real target must be Sato. I needed to find her before the culprit did. Nope. We managed to gather everyone together, but I knew we wouldn't be able to relax until the killer was found. The question is, what do we do now? Will hiding here keep everyone safe? Yeah, I'm wondering, because he said he was going to kill everybody on the island who had his business card. Like, what happened to all that? Let's talk to Azumi. Hey, Yuza, I got a question. What's up? Isn't the slashing curse the thing Kikuko tried to use? But she was arrested, right? You don't think she's trying again, do you? Well, I think it's a possibility, yes. But we should probably avoid mentioning her to the others unless we can prove she's involved. You're right. We don't want to scare them any more than we already have.
Hey, what are you two whispering about over there?
Just some rumors. We don't want to spread stuff so we don't actually know it's true. Or, we don't want to spread stuff we don't actually know is true. Said that wrong.
Oh? Well, now I'm even more curious.
No, shoot. She's on to us, Azumi. You got anything more to say, buddy? Do you really think it could be someone else committing murders this time? I think it's most likely someone new. Okay. That's probably enough from them for now. Let's go ahead and talk to Tsukasa.
What's that slashing curse business all about, Yuza?
Well, to be completely honest, someone planned to use that curse to commit a massacre today.
What the hell? Who would do that?
Don't worry, the culprit was caught this afternoon. The curse was targeting the symbol on the back of the Kamashimaru hand mirrors.
Oh, I know the ones you're talking about.
Yeah, so anyone with one of those mirrors would have been a potential target.
Seriously? Oh, that's so scary. Oh, that's why Azumi took everyone's hand mirrors this afternoon.
Just doing my part. But the police apparently found the curse stone that was used to release the curse. Things probably would have been fine if I hadn't collected all the mirrors.
It can't have been easy, though. Thanks for doing that, Azumi. Even if the police found some rock, a bunch of people were saved because of you.
Well, when you put it like that, I feel like I really helped out. Yeah, you definitely helped, bro. Don't sell yourself short.
But just because there's no mirrors left doesn't mean that we're free and clear, right?
Yeah, I somehow doubt Mr. Wakamura had one of those hand mirrors. That means there may be other items with that symbol on them.
How am I ever supposed to relax ever again? You think the police will find the culprit while we're hiding here?
I hope so. They're probably searching for him as we speak. I feel like Sato's just sitting there, like, knowing who the culprit is the whole time. Okay, we got a check mark on her, but we didn't have one on Azumi, so let's talk to him again before we go to Sato. Do you think Tsukasa realized Kikuko might be a suspect in the hand mirror thing? Yeah, she might have. But I don't think she'll say anything, even if she has. You're probably right. I think she gets why we aren't naming names. Okay, there we go. Now he's checkmarked. Now let's go to Sato, the lady of the hour, our princess.
Oh, are you talking to me? What?
Actually, maybe you should be. There's a chance the culprit is after you, after all, so stay alert. Maybe you should be. What was he about to say there?
Now I'm even more scared. Wait, really? Why would they be after Sato?
Well, it just seems to me like that would be the case. Huh? Yuza, do you know something we don't? Well, yeah. Can't keep anything hidden from you, so might as well come out and say it. The truth is, Shato Shiranami here ate mermaid flesh a long time ago and is now an immortal girl.
Well, that is not how I imagined bringing this up.
Wait, what? Seriously?
And how did you already know that, Yuza?
Was that part of the Tomokazuki vision too? Yeah, something like that.
Hold up, wait! I'm not following any of this. You had a Tomokazuki vision? What does that even mean?
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. I guess now is a good time to explain everything. Blah, blah, blah. He explains everything.
What? You ran into a Tomokazuki while you were diving and it showed you a vision of a different future?
What? Sato ate mermaid flesh and became immortal hundreds of years ago? Yeah, the whole thing is pretty bizarre. Funny world we live in, huh? And after this, I don't think I can deny any supernatural mystery or occult conspiracy theory ever again. You're really taking all this well, Yuza. This is the wildest thing I've heard all day. And Sato, I always thought you were a little different, but didn't realize you were straight out of the history books.
Yeah, sorry about deceiving you.
No, I seriously had no idea. You fit in the modern era so effortlessly.
Well, I watched a lot of TV to learn how to fit in. I love TV. Oh, I get it now. The Tomokazuki is also why you knew about the hand mirrors, right?
Exactly. That's why I secretly enlisted Azumi's help. I have to thank you again for that, Azumi. None of this would have worked out if you hadn't trusted me. I was pretty unconvinced at first, but you were so uncharacteristically serious that I didn't have a choice. Yeah, I really learned an important lesson. The more you joke around, the less likely people are to believe you when you need them. You wouldn't be you if you weren't messing around. I don't think you need to change a thing. I mean, I may have learned a lesson, but that doesn't mean I was planning on changing. Haha, that's the spirit. Never change, man. Anyway, on a more serious note, Sato is probably being targeted because she's immortal, right?
That's totally gotta be it. There's also that thing we found out earlier. Old man Wakamura was close to some rich guy named Unkaku Dono. He said he'd break the curse of the raging waves, but only if Wakamura handed over Sato. That's right. Mr. Wakamura said it was to protect the islanders.
Seriously? Can't believe I didn't notice all this was happening. Wait, didn't Yuza already break the curse of the raging waves?
So there's no need to give Sato to anyone, right? That's true. But things might be worse now. That rich guy might resort to more drastic measures. Oh, that's a good point. He took away his leverage, I guess, is the idea there. Okay, I think we've got a better grasp on what's going on. If Sato really is being targeted, we have to do whatever we can to protect her. I agree. We should probably stay up here for a while so no one finds us. I really appreciate everything you guys are doing, but this would all be over if I just gave myself up. Not a chance! I'm not about to let you do anything like that. You have no idea what they do to you. She's right. We won't let anything happen to you, Sato. Huh? What's that? I think someone's outside. This is bad. Someone's coming. Really? Sato, hide, quick! No, wait. I think I know him. Oh, it's Soto? Sato? Soto. Yeah, I got it right first time. Nice. I actually maybe remembered his name a little bit. Ah, so this is where you've been hiding. You really gave us a fright. You're Mr. Shiki's, you're Miss Shiki's assistant, right? Yes, my name is Soto Kiryu. Are you all right, Miss Shiranami? Yes. A man who wishes to harm Miss Shiranami is heading this way. We have very little time. Wait, what? They really are after Sato? It is likely the same person who murdered Mr. Wakamura. We must be prepared to defend ourselves. Okay, is there anything we can do? The appearance of the competent ally eased the tension in the room. However, a very real threat is now making its way towards us. As soon as he heard that someone was coming, he moved right in front of the room. He might be the strongest one here, but I hope he doesn't do anything reckless. Osby definitely feels like the guy that would jump on a grenade for everybody. What a good dude. I shouldn't stare too much. I might get in trouble again. I guess that's that scene earlier he's talking about, I mentioned. Now that an expert in the occult has arrived, she seems a bit calmer. I could really use her brains right now, but I don't want to put too much on her. And spinning, and spinning. Alright, let's think. I panicked when I first saw the approaching silhouette, and I'm sure glad Mr. Kiryu is here. If someone else found us here, I wouldn't have been able to do a thing. When I first met him, he seemed like a pretty level-headed man, if a little scary. But it's definitely nice to have a psychic around when you're being targeted by a deadly curse. Yeah, it's true. He might be able to actually, like, stop the curse from killing anybody. Maybe. Hold on a second, Mr. Kiryu. How did you find where we were before the murderer did? Referring to a map, I realized that the path was taking... wait. The path was taking led only one direction? Oh, the path he was taking. I missed the word he. I'm sorry. Let me reread that. Referring to a map, I realized that the path he was taking led only one direction. He was either intending to arrive at the lighthouse or these ruins, so I took a shortcut through the mountains to get ahead of him. There was no one in the lighthouse, so I came here next. Wait, you somehow got ahead of him even though you weren't on a path? In the dark? Those Geta you're wearing, am I saying that right? Gita, maybe Gita? Those Gita you're wearing can't be easy to hike in either, not to mention the fact that you went all the way to the lighthouse before coming here. As I once trained as an itinerant Buddhist monk, I need only the stars to guide my feet. That's amazing. Even we have to be careful at night, and we know these trails pretty well. Interesting. Let's keep talking, Osby. I guess psychics have inhuman physical strength too, huh? Well, I intend to push through difficulties with sheer force of will. That may make me somewhat unique. However, enhancing one's spirit sense does also sharpen the 5 normal senses, making it easier to move about. So that's how you got here so fast. Tsukasa, what do you got to say? If the murderer is coming for us, shouldn't we hurry up and get out of here? It might be a good idea to exchange all the information we have so we can be as prepared as possible. Yeah, good point. If we want to protect ourselves, I guess we need to think of a plan sooner than later.
Okay, same thing. Sato, what you got to say, girl?
Huh? What?
No, it's nothing, but you don't have to jump like that when I talk to you. She's on edge. So I guess this must be before he came and talked to Sato then? We're on a slightly different timeline? I can't say I understand, but it'll become clear soon, I'm sure. The man heading this way is Kipe Ikoma. He has come from the mainland. According to Mishiki, he's an 800-year immortal.
What? An immortal?
Seriously? Another immortal like Sato? It would seem that you are well aware of Miss Shiranami's condition.
It seems like almost everyone knows by this point.
I see.
But if he's already immortal, what does he want with Sato?
That remains unclear. But perhaps Miss Shiranami could shed some light on the issue. Do you know anything about this man, Ikoma?
No, nothing. In fact, we thought we were being hunted by someone working for a person named Unkaku Dono.
That is correct. Ikoma is indeed one of Unkaku Dono's subordinates.
I knew it!
Did you say was? You mean he doesn't work for Unkaku Dono anymore? Yes. Unkaku Dono, or rather Yoshiatsu Yamashina, was found dead in his house earlier today. He was apparently murdered by a curse inflicted by Ikoma, in precisely the same manner as Mr. Wakamura was killed.
What? Yamashina?
That means he can't be looking for Sato on Unkaku Dono's behalf. Just so. And that makes his motive for seeking Miss Shiranami entirely unclear. She's like, she's got nothing for anybody, dude. She's like, I don't know, dude, because she didn't even remember like any of her history until like she was actually talking to Tomoshige. Is it possible that this Ikoma person can use curses without a curse stone? It does appear to be the case. And yet, very few people would be capable of wielding a curse powerful enough to inflict mortal wounds without assistance. Is there any chance he stole back his curse stone? No. The curse stone for the curse of Tomoshige is in my possession. In fact, I have it with me now. That bronze mirror. It's a curse stone? Indeed. This is a separate artifact from the still-tide mirror. It is interesting, however, that both relics were made of bronze mirrors.
That mirror! I'm pretty sure it belonged to Tiro no Tomoshige.
What? How could you know that?
Well...
Huh? I believe I understand. Yes, it is all clear now. Considering all the information I've gathered thus far, there is a distinct possibility that Kipe Ikoma has actually lived for 800 years and is none other than Tiro no Tomoshige. Indeed, 800 years is certainly enough time to accumulate the resentment needed to create a curse. But how could anyone have held fast to such enmity for centuries? Of course, as the sole inheritor of the entire clan's resentment, the depths of his malice would be overwhelming. Wait, what? I don't get it. What are you saying? There is no time, so I will give you a brief synopsis. We can discuss it in depth at a later date. Okay, let's hear it. All current evidence indicates that the man who is searching for Miss Shiranami, Kipe Ikoma, has been alive for over 800 years. He was known as Tiro no Tomoshige during the Heian period, when he likely became an 800-year immortal. And we can assume he gained the ability to wield a curse that launches a slashing attack at a certain symbol via his clan's accumulated resentment. Launches an attack at a certain symbol? So you're saying that symbol was on the mirrors too? That is my current supposition. It would be the same power as that contained within a curse stone. Using that curse power, Ikoma murdered his ally Unkaku Dono and then proceeded to kill Mr. Wakamura. What a monster. Can't you use your powers to stop him or something? It isn't impossible, but I believe it would be unwise to provoke him any further at the moment. Is there something else we should be worried about? Well, it appears he passed out business cards with the curse symbol written on them to a number of island residents. He encouraged people to keep them in their pockets, so there's no telling how many people are currently carrying one. Seriously? Even if the curse has an activation range, as long as he's on the island, we have to assume that all those people are at risk. Then he can kill as many people as he wants whenever he wants. Holy shit, that's insane! We definitely shouldn't provoke him then. Sato's just looking pained all the time. The entire island has been taken hostage. Until we do something to remedy the situation, we cannot move against him. What can we even do? We don't have time to find everyone who has a business card right now. Oh, why don't we use the island PA system to tell everyone to throw out the cards? It's possible that Ikoma would hear the broadcast and use the curse before anyone could react. Damn. Yeah, I guess that might push him over the edge. There's just not enough time to do anything else.
I might have something. Why don't I meet with Ikoma and buy us some time? If I'm the one he's after, I bet he won't curse anyone while I'm talking with him.
Huh, so is this like what happened just before Ikoma gets there then in the timeline? And that's why she's there and it's all on purpose? I don't know, interesting. I guess we'll see. No way, that's too dangerous!
Don't worry, I'm an immortal girl, so nothing can happen to me.
But...
if I'm lucky, I might be able to get him to reveal his intentions, and even find some way to end all this.
Mr. Kiryu, this might be the best way to buy us some more time. I'm afraid we have little choice, but you must avoid inciting his anger at all costs.
I understand.
Do not reveal that you know his true identity either, and try to keep him talking for as long as possible.
Don't worry, I'm very good at feigning ignorance. You can call me Deadpan McPokerface.
What the hell? Gosh, she's such a goof sometimes.
Nice to meet you, Deadpan.
Okay, we'll stay hidden up here for now.
Sato, please be careful. I'm going to be as careful as I can be, trust me.
We'll find some way to deal with the curse. Just don't let Ikoma do anything to you.
I know. I believe in you guys.
So maybe I should have said that she would go with him. I don't know, we'll see. So is this where they were when Ikoma got there? Miss Shiranami is waiting for Ikoma downstairs. There's no sign of him yet, but it's only a matter of time before he arrives. We need to do something about the business cards while he's keeping him busy. Or while she's keeping him busy, sorry. Yes, if I go alone. Sorry. I've got a stuffy nose this morning. Every once in a while, it just like screws me. Yes, if I go alone, I should be able to make it back to town fairly quickly. You think we can ask people in town for help? Yes, Mishiki and the others are coming this way, so I should be able to meet them en route. Okay, then we don't have to go at it alone. We can ask them for help if need be. What about the two foreigners? They're with Mishiki too, right? I was not aware you knew of them, but yes, they are. Huh? You mean those two tourists? What are they doing with her? The girl is a psychic. She may be able to offer assistance. Whoa, really? From Tsukasa. I wonder what that hm's about. Let's think real quick. This is it. Do or die time. I've been trying not to think about it, but ever since I met the Tomokazuki this afternoon, can't help but feel like some all-knowing entity is somehow directing my movements. I guess I'll refer to them as the Tomokazuki for now. Somehow being led along this isn't an unpleasant feeling. It actually feels perfectly natural to just go along with it. If anything, the Tomokazuki's choices have helped us miraculously avoid many crises so far. That's why I feel like their knowledge will help us overcome the situation too.
But maybe that's just wishful thinking? Still, I'm almost positive the Tomokazuki can hear what I'm thinking right now. If they are listening, maybe they can give us a sign so we know what to do next. Some feel like reassessing what I know about everyone will help me find an answer.
Huh. So we're the Tomokazuki in this analogy. Interesting. And he wants to review profiles. Is there something in here I'm supposed to find? Kind of feels like the game trying to tell me to go to the menu. Something new here? Right introvert as a child, I began to suffer from more animated aside upon befriending. Oh, it's me. I don't think there's anything there. I don't know, because there's not really a prompt for us to, like, pass or anything. So I feel like reassessing what I know about everyone will help me find an answer. An answer to what? Okay, maybe we need to figure out what we're answering first. I'm getting a little ahead of myself there. Let's look at our surroundings. The mountains of Kameshima are shrouded in darkness. At this very moment, a man named Ikoma is approaching along this path. I doubt he'll be able to find us up here on the roof, but we still need to do something. Bird stickers, bird sticker! Mockingbird 17 discovered. He's got a little briefcase thing and a pompadour, a swirly one. Where are we at with this? I have 4 left. Nice. Get in there. Gotta find them all. Alright, let's take a look at our friends here. Ozma's trying his best to think of a way to stop the curse too. It's nice to know I'm not dealing with this all alone. Just realizing that gives me hope. She's racking her brain to think of a way to deal with the curse. Now that I think about it, Tsukasa reacted oddly to that information earlier. I feel like I might have some idea what's going on with her because of the Tomokazuki's vision. Maybe I could use that somehow. Oh man, I feel like it's the game trying to tell me something. So there's something we can do because we know Tsukasa knows that Sato's immortal already? Alright, maybe it's Tsukasa's profile. Let's look at that really quick. Shit, where's she at? Oh, I went right by it. Is there anything new at the bottom even? In truth, Tsukasa secretly tracked down her father, a wealthy man who owns multiple companies in Issei, and knows that she is his illegitimate child. She has apparently even gone out to dinner with him several times, but keeps this a secret from her mother. And we were thinking maybe it was Ukaku Dono, because even Wakamura had said that before, but then turns out Kikuko thought she was the illegitimate child, but maybe that was a lie that Ikoma fed her. Tsukasa subsequently grew up in a single mother household. Although she used to occasionally ask her mother about her father, her questions were always evaded, so she has since stopped inquiring. However, the fact that her mother never seems to have any financial difficulty despite not working has led her to quietly suspect she might still be involved in some way, or he might be. Okay. Huh. Let's keep talking, or looking at people. I think we still need to look at Soto. I wonder what kind of abilities a professional psychic has. That's it. That's all he's got. Alright, let's talk to Tsukasa.
Sorry, hold on a minute. The gears are all turning full tilt right now.
Okay, fair enough. Can I make sure I'm on the right page about the curse and its conditions and all that? Sure. Okay, so Ikoma has a curse that uses a certain symbol as a target for a slashing attack, right?
And we're in a bad way because he gave a bunch of people's business cards with that symbol on it. Yes, he can kill the islanders whenever he wants. Okay, and now we don't have time to collect them all, and if we make an announcement about the cards, Ikoma will hear it and use the curse. So what are we supposed to do here? We don't have any time. Yeah, that's the problem. Our only way out of this is a supernatural solution. Is to, like, go through a different timeline, I guess. That's what it sounds like it's kind of saying. Well now, Yuza Minakuchi, it would seem you have a plan. Not really. I mean, why would you ask me? Oh, I merely had a hunch. My intuition is telling me that you should look inside yourself for an answer. Hold on just a minute. Can he tell that the Tomokazuki is working through me? Okay. I don't have a plan. I don't know. What is my plan supposed to be here? I'll say I have a plan. I gotta see what it prompts me with. I don't even know what the question is, so I can't find an answer to a question I don't know. I've got it. I have a plan. Probably. Really? Alright, Yuza. Yuza, before you tell us your idea, allow me to impart a warning. Okay? Whatever you tell us, I'm going to trust your judgment and carry out your plan immediately. As things stand, we simply have no time to weigh the options or consider other avenues. Do you understand? You can only choose once, and there is no leeway for unnecessary steps. Wow, no pressure then. Now, lay out the entire plan. Who to ask and what to ask them. I mean, I guess it must be, it's been very much leaning on Tsukasa because of her father and who her father was, but I don't know how that helps us. I don't know who else we would choose here. Choose which of these individuals to enlist and what to have them do, then select confirm. I mean, it must be, God, I feel like all the clues, I just gotta trust the clues. It's funny because they're just saying they have to trust me, and it's like, oh, geez, dude. I mean, the game's got to give me some clues, man. Because it says Tsukasa secretly tracked down her father, a wealthy man, and so it's like me being able to read these files is the extra information that, as me, the Tomokazuki, let's say, has, as I have all these details in these files, and the last detail I have on Tsukasa is about her, that she knows who her father is. It knows that she's the illegitimate child. She has apparently even gone out to dinner with him several times, but keeps this secret from her mother. So she has this secret, and we need to ask her about it, but Yuza should have no reason to know that. And he only knows that because we know that. And I think that's what the game's trying to say. So I'm going to go with that, I guess. Rather than reading through all these people's profiles, I don't think I'm going to get anywhere with. She's the only one with a secret that we haven't exposed yet. I guess use inheritance. I don't understand how that's supposed to work though, but it is her inheritance. It's not go diving. That's not going to do anything. Make calculations. What is that about? It's use inheritance because her father is her secret. Okay, I'm going to do that. I don't know what this means, but we're going to choose it. Alright. Conform. I mean, I assume we can try this again if it screws up. It's not like the game's not going to let me try again, so it's like the stakes aren't that high, Dom. It's okay. There are people selected. 1. Is this correct? Wait, hold on. I can select more than one person? Oh my god, now it's even more confusing. Okay, shoot, now I feel like I do have to read more about everybody now. Let's see, Soto. Independent psychic who makes a living in Japan's only psychic detective. Soto has no permanent residence, instead traveling throughout the country for training, resolving metaphysical incidents.
Let's see. Primary special abilities: curses, the Shagun, the ability to see the face of a deceased individual from the remains, allowing for recreation of their features, which isn't going to help us in this scenario. However, but he also has Feast of Shadows, the ability to create a domain in which the potency and range of certain types of spiritual abilities are increased. And how is that going to help? That's actually making things worse. Effective Ignite, Soto himself is able to create a domain up to 1 kilometer in range. So yeah, none of this, what Soto can do is good. I mean, I don't know how we would even ask Suyu to do anything. Crack a joke, do laundry, that's hilarious. Just those options are hilarious. This is definitely not right. Cersei, call on Guardian Spirit, use Shikigami, perform dowsing. Maybe use Shikigami. Because she can send a message with, like, from far away with a Shikigami. Perform dowsing. She can also, you know, find people, and she even offered to do the dowsing to try to find Ikoma earlier, but we know Ikoma's on his way here, so there's no reason to douse. Call on Guardian Spirit. I don't know what the hell that's about. What was that? I don't remember her having a Guardian Spirit. Guardian Spirits, the ability to call upon the numerous Guardian Spirits of the Lunar Light family and invoke their powers to exercise spirits and negate certain psychic abilities. So that's what she uses in order to stop Kikuko from using the Curse Stone. Shikigami, the ability to turn a piece of paper with an individual's name written on it into a butterfly, which will return to the individual in question. Although she does not have to be the one who wrote the name, it must be Cersei who cast the spell on the paper. The thing is, Cersei's not here, so I don't know how we're gonna get her to do that. What's the matter, pup? You hear something, puppy? What's up, dude? Oh, let me check, see if anybody like knocked on the door or something. What's up, Loki dog? What are you woofing about? It doesn't look like I had a doorbell ring or anything like that. Yo, what's up, Loki? You just woofing because you woofing? Huh? Just because you're bored? Huh, puppy? It's not time for your next WAOK yet, so... wait a little bit longer, right? Right, puppy? What? What? What are you... Alright, maybe he needs to go potty. Gosh darn it. Guess we have been going for an hour now. I just took him out a little bit ago, but I mean, if he's gotta go, he's gotta go, right? Alright, well, I will go take him out really quick. Just try to make it a quick one, and I'm gonna have to think about what we're doing here while I do that. Maybe I'll come up with something. I don't know. But yeah, I'll BRB. It should just be a few minutes, so yeah, don't go away. There's more after this. Okay, I'm back. Didn't really come up with anything good. Because I mean, the Shikigami seems nice because it, you know, can get a message really far, but I don't know who we're gonna message exactly. It's not like she can message everyone in town, or maybe she can, you know. But we don't know who all has the message, so like the card, so she'd have to like write everyone's name down in the entire town instead of the message, and they'd have to know. I don't know. Seems like a long shot. The dowsing, I'm pretty sure, doesn't matter here. But the Guardian Spirit does. That honestly sounds like it's the most useful. To prevent him from using his curse seems like that would be the most useful thing to do. So maybe Cersei could make sense. What's obvious choices? Into negotiation, use curse, write manuscript. That's... I love how they have like a silly one in there for everybody. Soto... oh yeah, we already looked at him. I don't think any of his are gonna help. Use vision ability, do housework, consult with husband. Oh my gosh. Shotaro's gotta have nothing. Into negotiations, beg for mercy, flee to Tokyo. Use go diving, fool around, enact purification. Yeah, I know that's that. I feel like Tsukasa's the only one that has anything that they've been leaning into. But maybe Cersei's thing makes sense too. Ah, jeez. Cersei's not here though. And I don't even know how Tsukasa's inheritance is gonna help us, dude. But I think I'm just gonna lean into what this game feels like it's telling me, and just choose that one. But I don't know how that's supposed to help us. God, I'm gonna feel so stupid when this is not it. All right, here we go. Let's just rip the band-aid off. Yeah. Very well. That is 1 in total. Yeah, that's the plan. It seems we can settle this matter with only those present here. Let us get started right away. If all goes well, Ikoma's curse should have no effect. Oh, shit. I don't know how that... dude, this doesn't make any sense. What? You selfish little brat! But very well. I'll make you regret that choice. Let's see how long that defiance of yours holds out. Dude, I mean, what is Tsukasa gonna do? Could the game just, like, throw me off with that, or what? And so, Tomoshige's curse was unleashed. God, yeah, see, of course. That's because it didn't make any sense. It must have just been Cersei's guardian thing. I guess it's the only thing that would stop it, right? In an instant, several islanders carrying Kippei's business cards collapsed and died. I didn't see it happen, but from the sound of his voice, I knew he wasn't bluffing. Oh, what have I done? I made the wrong choice. There was no way to fight the curse. I should have just done as Tomoshige said. Oh, I guess this is Sato talking, my bad. Even if I went to the rooftop now and told those waiting there to warn the others to destroy the business cards, Tomoshige would likely never allow me to, and even if he had, or even if he did, in the time it'd take them to destroy the cards, he'd keep just pressing me for an answer, all while killing more and more people. There really was no way to fight him. I started thinking that if I gave in now, maybe I could still save a few lives. Before I knew it, I was saying the words out loud, telling that merciless man I'd obey and begging him to stop, apologizing through my tears. I mean, it sounds like I made the wrong decision there as well. And so, before our time finally ran out, we sank to the bottom of Ise Bay, fading into foam upon the sea. It's funny that she says it that way, just because the Little Mermaid, that's how mermaids die, apparently. They just turn into sea foam in the original story of the Little Mermaid. As a curse that had sustained us for 8 centuries at last began to unravel, I felt my senses slipping away. Beside me, Tomoshige drifted in silence, his face calm, almost childlike. I stared at his smile as he slowly faded away. Yet as the darkness closed in, only an endless, burning hatred was left in me as my consciousness faded into nothingness. Ending 4, Tomoshige's desire. He got what he wanted, that son of a bitch. Shoot. Well, I totally fucked that up, guys. Cocked it up real good. I wonder if it's like I didn't really have the answer at this point, and I needed to go off one of those paths or whatever. I guess I don't want to skip the current scene just in case they show me something, I guess. I don't know. I don't really want to sit through the credits again. I'm pretty sure we saw him at the end of the Kamishima one. I guess the background's kind of telling a little bit of a story, like this is her senses fading. Unforgivable decision. Reached Chironoshige's ending. Tomoshige. I keep bungling his name. Darn it, that was horrible. At least we got another ending, though, to get all the endings. I got the thing. Forgive me. I won't be able to spend the next 800 years with you. What does that mean? Alright, you asshole. What's up, dude? It would seem things haven't quite turned out the way you hoped. Unable to stop the curse of Kipe Koma, or should I say, Tira no Tomoshige, you allowed more victims to fall to his curse. In the end, Sato Shiranami had no choice but to perish alongside Tomoshige. Now then, what could have been done differently? Perhaps it would have been wise to rely on someone with extraordinary abilities. Is there perhaps someone with the power to affect those business cards in some way? And so for now, this path has come to an end. Oh, hold on. Because all of the business cards have Kipe Koma's name, but that's not his real name. Like, could she have used her Shikigami to send all of the cards to him? Is it some weird thing like that? Oh, dude, I don't know. Maybe I should have tried that. Maybe I'll try that next. And so for now, this path has come to an end. You'll be returned to the story chart. Please select a chapter and try again. I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. Farewell for now. Oh man, that's a really early memory. Wow, interesting. So, you know what, here, let me change something really quick. I was trying to mess with my Steam controller there earlier, and I think I made a decision I don't like. I think I just don't want the gyro mouse on at all. Yeah, I think that's better. Let's see. So these were... That was the Tira no Tomoshige Desires. So I can go back to We Need a Plan. But I think since we got this old memory, maybe we'll get some information from it. So let's try that. Natural talent. Okay, so from Sato's perspective, about 2 months after waking up on Kamishima and being taken in, Sato Shiranami goes to the roof of the Kantekisho ruins for some time alone. Sounds similar to the scene we had saw before with Yuza doing that. So I guess this is the same scene, but from Sato's perspective.
2 months have passed since I washed up on this island. 400 years elapsed while I was locked away under the sea, but I've managed to adjust to modern life somehow. Although sometimes I wonder why I bothered. It's so quiet on the roof of the Kantekisho. I'm alone, but for the wind rustling in the trees, the distant roar of the tide. It feels so good to have this view all to myself, to just let the soft sea breeze carry me away. It's a perfect spot for someone who wants a little to do with others as possible. But yesterday, someone came up here and ruined everything.
Oh, so maybe this is the day after that happened then. Is there a bird sticker? Let's see one. I think we found one up here in that other scene. I guess you just gotta think. Sit down in a thinking chair and think.
I was a little worried at first, but I've adapted pretty smoothly to modern civilization. The fact that I only have vague memories of my life from 400 years ago probably helped a bit. Still don't really understand how ships and cars move by themselves, or how electrical appliances and lights and things work. But it's not really an issue, to be honest. I know how to use them, and that's what counts. Most people who were born in the modern era could tell you that fridges keep stuff cold, but not exactly how they do it. It's actually pretty easy to get by if you can just accept that knowing everything in detail is normal, or that not knowing everything in detail is normal. Besides, it doesn't seem like life has changed that much for the fishermen who live on this remote island. Apparently, the big cities have greatly evolved with water and sewage systems, as well as subways. Waking up there would have been a lot more confusing.
I think it's funny that she says the whole thing is like, well, not knowing stuff isn't that really that big a deal in the modern day. Because it's like, I feel like I definitely try to learn as many things as possible on how things work. So I guess like personally I disagree, but I get that you don't have to. Certainly plenty of people get by. I've had that thought myself. So many people who drive cars, but they don't know how cars work. But they know how to drive them, so that's all they needed. Guess we'll just have to keep thinking. Do some more thinking.
I really do love being alone. It's so calming. I have a good reason to isolate myself on this island. Soon, my life will be over. Probably have less than a month left. Whoever sealed me away seems to have had some kindness in them, at least. They allowed me to spend my last moments as myself, alive. I can hardly feel grateful. How much living can you really do in a few months? A few weeks? That girl, Tsukasa Awao, is always hanging around me. But I try to keep my feelings in check and act as cold as possible. Getting too close will only make things harder when it all has to end. I like to joke and laugh with them, spend time talking about our favorite TV series and stuff like that. Especially with Tsukasa. The way she reacts to things is so funny. It's really hard not to laugh and play along. I have to try so hard to keep my feelings under control. Cheerful conversations will only become painful memories for her later. And since running out into the woods and living alone isn't appealing, I just have to play my role as the unfriendly loner till the time comes for me to disappear.
And how sad would that be?
Just one more month. One more month of coasting along without making waves. Raging or otherwise.
Keep looking around to see if anything pops up. I think this is just a thanking chapter.
Watching TV every day, learning more and more about the modern world. There's so much fun to be had. Pretending otherwise actually hurts. Humanity has prospered. In the past, the common folk were preoccupied with surviving each day. Now, almost anyone can eat delicious food and sleep in a warm bed without having to toil day and night. People have time, freedom, entertainment. It's wonderful. I wish I had time to enjoy it all. Get on an airplane, maybe even fly to Tokyo. But there's not much chance of that, not with the time I have left. Still, I really wish I could try one of those game consoles that you can hook up to a TV. You can play different games by switching cartridges according to what they say on TV. Those consoles are so popular that it's hard even to find one. Not that I'm in a position to make demands, of course. All I can do is look at the pictures in the magazines and dream about them. If I had a game console, I bet I'd play it all day.
Yeah, it's funny. That's like totally like I think she has that opinion because we're playing a video game right now. But I will say, Sato, you would play them all day. I mean, I guess not all day, but I'm definitely a gamer.
Anyway, there's no point in wishing for too much. I'm just grateful to be able to spend my days this way. It's all thanks to Wakamura. Please just let me watch TV for my last remaining month. That's not too much to ask, is it? Anyway, I shouldn't let my guard down. I've got to keep myself in line. No extravagances. I've just got to gently drift along and not rock the boat. At least, that was the plan. And yet, when speaking to him yesterday, I got completely carried away. So mad at myself about it. Next time, I'll be more careful. Cool as a cucumber. Wait. Next time? Oh well. Yuzumi Nakuchi. Something about him makes me lose my cool completely. It's probably the shock of finding out he's immortal too. Yeah, that must be it. And maybe being immortals puts us on a different wavelength from other people. That could be why I'm drawn to him. He seemed quite young. He can't have been immortal long, but to think mermaids are still around even now. Wait a moment. I wonder if he knows I'm an 800-year immortal too. I hope not. If he does, it puts my peaceful life at risk. I better make sure he knows to keep his mouth shut. I have to talk to Yuzumi Nakuchi again. Finding him is sure gonna be a hassle.
So she's like has the hots for Yuza? I was thinking maybe for a second there she'd be thinking of him and he would disappear. Sounds like she likes the lad. Oh, yep. There he is! Oh god, it's so startling when somebody walks up behind you in this game.
Ah, he's right there. That actually made me jump. Wish he'd wipe that look off his face. If he's indifferent, I bet he's secretly proud of himself for being the one to startle me like this time. Startle me this time. It's weird that it doesn't have a check mark. I guess we're gonna have to notice something after we talk to him. You came back. So you're here too, huh? Did I startle you? I'll say yep. Of course you did. Anyone would get a fright when someone sneaks up on them like that. Now you know exactly how I felt. You're right. Guess I deserve that. Never mind that now. There's something I wanted to ask you. There's something I need to tell you too, but you go first. So I was thinking about what you said yesterday about the pretty rough thing, and it occurred to me. Could you, by any chance, be an immortal girl? Whoa! I didn't know it was that obvious. I knew it. Something about you was just different. So I'm an immortal boy, and you're an immortal girl. Don't put it like that. Why not? That's what we look like. And it sounds better than people who became immortal by eating mermaid flesh. Besides, going by our actual ages or something would just get confusing. I guess that makes sense. Right? You might as well call yourself that too. Alright, I will. Anyway, as it turns out, I wanted to talk about the same thing. You knew you were immortal, didn't you? Yep, I found out just recently, in fact. I got swept out to the sea and survived, against all odds. That's when I remembered being saved by the mermaid 5 years ago, and it all started to make sense. Wait, saved? By a mermaid? From what? Well, I had no idea. I hadn't even heard of an incident like that occurred 5 years ago, and in the sea just south of Kamishima, too. No one really talks about it anymore. So a mermaid saved you and made you an immortal boy? Right. That's the best guess, anyway. That's my best guess, anyway. Not that I understand why a mermaid would go out of her way to rescue me. Anyway, I'm just happy I can finally talk to someone about this. There's still so much I don't understand. Since we're here, do you mind if I ask you some questions? That's fine, but I need you to promise me one thing. Never tell anyone about being an immortal girl. Easy. I prefer people to know about me either. Good. I'd have to kill you otherwise, so thanks for sparing me that trouble. She'd have to kill it. How would she do that? He's immortal. You know, you're a lot tougher than I thought you'd be. Anyway, done. I swear on my life. Our lives. Well, look at you, making immortal jokes. You modern kids are something else. Yeah, it'd be so weird to be talking to someone who's like 800 years old. Like, she comes from a completely different time. Honestly, she probably like looked different, right? Because of genetics just changing over 800 years? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Honestly, it just came out. He's been immortal for 5 years, so he's not going to get any taller. Another 795 years as a teenager sounds pretty rough. I mean, isn't she a teenager? I thought she's like 19. She looks very young too. Tsukasa told me that he tends to play the fool and that he's kind of hard to read. She was right. He's not a bad kid, though, I think. This might be easier than I thought. I just need to keep my guard up. I wonder what he wants to ask me. I don't remember much about the past, so I'm not sure what I can tell him. So what did you want to ask me? Oh, right. How long does this immortal thing last? Is it really forever? 800 years. No more, no less. Wow, 800 years. That's a really solid number. Precisely. Good luck for the next 795. What am I, some fine wine? I need more than luck. That's 8 whole centuries we're talking about. Yeah, it's pretty rough, like I said. I could tell you had a long time left. Huh? Being immortal for so long must give you an amazing intuition. Oh, and just checking, but is there any way to undo our immortality? No, there isn't. You're not human anymore. And there's no way to become human again now that your human body is long gone. Ugh, I knew it. By the way, how long have you been alive? This is my 800th year. I only have a month left. What? Really? It's a long story, but I've kind of been out of the game for the last 400 years. Now my life is almost over. 400 years is a long, long time. Only 1 month. You're way older than I imagined. So, is there anything I need to be careful of? What do you mean? Well, seeing as I'm stuck in this immortal body, is there anything I should avoid? Oh, right. If you fall into a deep fissure or a pit of lava, you'll keep dying over and over, so don't do that. Yikes, sounds pretty terrifying. Avoid lava, got it. That's about it. I don't actually remember all that much. I guess that's how it is. Oh, and it'll get messy if people find out, so try to keep a low profile. You'll probably have to find somewhere new to live every few decades. That'll help you avoid suspicion. Living in the same place for too long is dangerous, huh? Oh, but it won't be easy living anonymously with the family registry system. You used to just be able to show up in a new place and start making a living. People did that all the time, but nowadays... Yeah, I bet it's way more difficult to move around than it used to be. Sounds real enough. Good luck with that. Great, thanks. It's kind of a cute conversation. So they met back up the next day? Not again. Are you going to come here every day? It's not like I have anything better to do. Yeah, me neither. You know, you're the one who started showing up at my favorite place. I like it too. I have just as much of a right to be here as you do. Besides, it's such a nice spot. Yeah, I get that. You said before that you come here to think. What do you think about? Stuff like what sort of work I could do. Oh, are you unemployed? Obviously. Someone with a job wouldn't spend their morning staring at the sea. Not everyone's lucky enough to have a cushy life eating free food and watching TV all day. Listen, can we cut this out? It seems utterly pointless to knock each other down every 5 seconds. True. I guess we can call a truce. Wait, did I use the wrong voice for who said the TV thing? No, Sato said that. Okay. I don't like who's cutting who down? Hey. Is living for so long hard? It's definitely not a stable life. It can be really hard at times. But that's true whether you're immortal or not, isn't it? At least you don't have to worry about starving to death anymore. Even if you get sick or injured, dying will fix it. I've never actually struggled that much because of my immortality, to be honest. Oh, is it really that easy? I mean, what if you really want to die and you just can't? Do you want to die? Well, not now. But maybe if I live long enough, I'll change my mind. Oh. When you said you got swept out to sea before, was that because you... Damn. I thought you were a super chill boy, but I guess you're a sensitive boy too. Seems that way. I was just as surprised as you to find that out. Come on then, what happened? Talk to your elder immortal. So he tried to commit suicide, it sounds like? Poor Yuza, I guess maybe it was because he lost his parents and he was just really sad. Maybe that's why he did that. Damn, dude, that's some heavy stuff. Geez, so they blamed your mother for the disaster 5 years ago and even shunned you because of it? Guess you must have been keen to come back here then. I didn't want my Gran or Azumi to have to worry about me. It was a moment of weakness that pulled me back here, I guess. I'm not really sure. Regardless, I need to live as quietly as possible and stay out of everyone's way now. And that's why you can't come up here to be alone, huh? Well, I know how you feel. It's the same for me. They meet up again the next day. Wait, so you were sealed in an underwater cave for 400 years? Yeah, there was a reason for it, to keep something from happening, but I don't remember what it was. But I'm awake now, so that must mean it's okay, whatever it was. Jeez, that must have been terrible. Huh, pretty noble of me, wouldn't you say? If you wanted to worship me, I wouldn't say no. God, Santo's a goof, dude. So this Azumi Kumoi guy looks out for you, huh? Yeah, he's a really good guy. Too good for me, definitely. Honestly, I don't think I could survive on this island without his help. And yet you haven't told him you're immortal? No, I doubt he'd believe me. Besides, if he started avoiding me or something, I'd have nothing left. I don't think I could keep going. Not that you can die. Yeah, true. Several days later. So I guess this is them sort of like creating a close relationship. Maybe they're falling for each other a little bit here. I see. So you've been acting cold because you don't have much time left, huh? I understand. Saying goodbye to people you care about isn't easy. Yeah, exactly. And when you live as long as we do, you have to say goodbye to so many people. Come to think of it, being immortal sounds pretty rough. Well, it does mean saying goodbye a lot. You can see why people see immortality as a kind of punishment, or hell itself. There have been immortals who became so overcome with despair that they turned their backs on the world and devoted themselves to religion. Like Yao Bikuni. So that's where that story comes from. But, you know, as far as I can remember, I never felt like this existence was hell. Really? Yep, for those 400 years before I was sealed away, I just lived out my life. If you ask me, not everyone's cut out to be immortal. It's like anything else, really. Some people have what it takes, others don't. So what? You're just a natural immortal? Yep, it's like I was born for it. I see. It really is something for everyone. But I guess emotionally maturing to match the fact that you were 817 years old wasn't for you, though. Wait. I guess emotionally maturing to match the fact that you're... Yeah, I said that right. I feel like I'm just not quite understanding what he's trying to say there. You noticed? I'm self-conscious about that. Oh, so she's 17. I thought she was 19. She's 17. No, sorry. Anyway, it takes talent to live for centuries without seeming to age a day. True. I wish I had that talent too. I'm jealous. I hope I'll be able to look at it the same way. Are you scared? Huh? Are you scared of being alone for the next 800 years? Well, yeah. That's part of it. It's also just hard to imagine myself living in the future. Makes sense. I probably would have been scared too if I'd known from the start that I had 8 whole centuries ahead of me. But I reckon you'll be okay. You might even surprise yourself. You think so? Yeah, you're a lot like me in some ways. So I think you might be cut out for this immortal life. Huh. Are we alike? I hadn't noticed. Sure we are. Like how you start playing the fool when you're embarrassed. Yeah, you've got me there. See? And remember when we first met? You started talking like we were old friends right off the bat. True. I remember thinking it was funny how I didn't feel awkward at all. I rest my case. If you've got the knack for it, another 795 years will feel like nothing. Blink and you'll miss it. Like nothing?
I don't know if I want it to go by that fast.
Haha, exactly. In the end, you might not even feel like it was enough. Maybe your last words will be, I know I've lived 800 years, but come on, give me another few centuries.
I get it now.
Hmm?
You really are good at being immortal. So good, you still don't want to die.
Huh?
You've only got 1 month before your lifespan ends. You must be scared too. You've never disappeared once, you've never despaired once at being immortal, until now. And then she meets a boy that she actually likes, and now she has to die, and she's sad about it. She was also sad that she didn't get to actually enjoy the modern world too.
You're not wrong there. I mean, I lost 400 years. So I'm not really done with my life yet. I want to keep living. More than anything, of course I'm scared. I want to keep living more than anything. Of course I'm scared.
I can understand that. It's not like you're on your deathbed and been given 1 month to live. You're as healthy as can be. So, maybe it's time you stopped worrying.
What do you mean?
Since you don't have long left, why not spend the rest of your lifespan having fun? Live it out to the fullest. If you do the best you can with the time you have left, you might even feel satisfied with the life you've led, in the end.
Wow, I don't know why I didn't think of that. But if I get close to anyone, it'll only hurt them when I die.
Yeah, but I mean, you could just let them mourn you. You've had to do that plenty of times, right?
I guess I could be forgiven for being a little selfish in my old age.
Exactly. If it helps, consider yourself forgiven.
Does that mean you'll mourn me when I disappear?
Of course I will. From the bottom of my heart.
Really? Now?
Or really now? Maybe that's what she was saying.
That might just make me happy.
Good. Then here's the plan. You're going to have as much fun as possible starting tomorrow. Tsukasa's coming back for the holidays too, by the way. I'm sure she'll be more than happy to hang out with you. She wanted to be your friend, you know.
Oh, I'm liking the sound of this more and more. I wanted to be her friend too. Guess this is my chance to take her around the island. Oh, but while I'm at it.
Yeah?
You said your grandmother, Suyu, needed someone to talk to, right?
Oh, yeah. It's just, we don't have much to talk about. She's always going on about what's on TV, and I can't keep up.
Haha, leave the TV, talk to me. Oh, and I'd be happy to look after her while you're out working as well.
Are you sure? That'd be a huge help, but...
Sure, I'm sure. She seems like an interesting person to talk to. I'd love to spend some time with her.
She's definitely something. You can't let your guard down around her, that's for sure. And she's pretty stubborn, not to mention if she doesn't like something, she's not afraid to say it.
I'll bear that in mind. You know what? I'm actually pretty excited for tomorrow now.
I'm glad.
Hey, Yuza?
That's my name, don't wear it out. I was not expecting him to say that.
I know we initially came here because we wanted to be alone, but from now on... Can we come here when we don't want to be alone instead?
Sato. Of course we can. I'll wait for you here, every day. Aw, that's so cute, dude.
After that, I decided to stop holding back and reach out to everyone around me. And you know what? They responded. They've started interacting with me in just the same way. So I've decided to spend my last few days having as much fun as possible. So much fun that I won't even have time to fear the end. Of course, no one but Yuza and I know about my immortality, or what little remains of it. But these past few days have been so much fun. There are points where I can't even tell if I'm dreaming, or if it's this new reality, or if this is my new reality, sorry. And most importantly, Yuza's life and mine have continued to intertwine as we meet at our usual spot, day after day. We get along so well. Being together feels like the most natural thing on Earth. And it didn't take long for us both to notice how comfortable we were around each other. Before we knew it, we were being drawn together with increasing intensity, like stars meeting in orbit.
Aw, how cute. And we get a new one for Yuza. Oh, and both of them. Both sides of the same conversation, it looks like. Interesting. Alright, well this has become very adorable. I like this. This is nice after seeing so much death. Okay, looks like we got this toucan guy here. Dude, I've almost got all the mockingbirds, dude. I wonder if I've missed any. I might have to look up a guide if I did. But we'll wait till the end for that. The night. Let's start from Sato's perspective since we're already Sato. We've been Sato for a while, so let's keep going with that. Sato Shiranami meets Yuza Minakuchi, a fellow immortal, in secret over the past month and grows closer to him. A decisive night befalls them. Ooh, I wonder why it's decisive. Is it the night they confess their love for each other or something? That would be precious.
The summer breeze feels perfect, and the clear sky is sparkling with stars. Nothing relaxes me more than the whisper of the tide and the breeze in the trees. I'm so happy. I only have 2 days left. Finding hope at a time like this feels like a miracle. I'd all but given up. Never thought I'd get a second chance. But when we were here yesterday, Yuza told me how he felt about me. He said he loved me, and that if it were somehow possible, he'd want to stay by my side forever. I couldn't stop replaying it in my head last night. Even now, I can't stop smiling. I mean, I feel exactly the same way. This month we spent together has confirmed that. But I hadn't planned on telling him I felt that way. It would have been pointless, knowing I was going to disappear soon. Besides, I had an inkling that he felt the same way as I did, so I didn't want to make things harder for him. I planned on never putting my feelings for him into words. And yet, even though he knew it was futile, he couldn't let it end without sharing how he felt about me. So I decided to be honest about my feelings for him too. I thanked him and told him I loved him too. However, now that that's all out in the open, I thought we'd feel a sense of peace, but we don't. Far from it. We're not like a pair of tragic lovers in a story, bound to die beautifully together or anything like that. I mean, if we could die together, there'd be nothing to agonize over in the first place. So we started thinking of ways we could be together. The answer came to us surprisingly fast, but it was an answer that could be described as taboo. Yuza asked me if I was sure I wanted to go through with it, but honestly, I didn't need to think twice. If that's what it takes, then so be it. All I want is to be with him. But we're running out of time. Although even if we had more time, the odds of our plan succeeding are almost zero anyway. Part of me wishes we'd made this plan much earlier. But maybe I needed this time for my feelings to reach their peak. Maybe this is just how it had to be. Better to think we made it just in time. I'll keep fighting this fate until the very end.
Yeah, that is so adorable. Gotta look for a bird sticker. You never know. Maybe they slapped another one on here. Nope.
Yuza is silently gazing out at the dark sea. I wonder what he's thinking about. I suppose he's seriously considering what lies ahead of us.
I guess we'll find out what he's thinking here in a minute. Okay, so same thing.
What are you thinking about?
Huh?
Oh, just our height difference. Oh, my height's been bugging you?
Well, you know, you're gonna be like this forever.
Don't worry. Even with 15 centimeters between us, you look great, Yuza.
Thanks, but it doesn't really make me feel better.
Hey, it's not your fault you were only in middle school when you became an immortal. Nothing you can do now. You'll just have to live with it. Man, if it had happened just 1 or 2 years later, I'd be at least 5 centimeters taller. Wait, even then I'd still be 10 centimeters shorter than you. Wow, that's crazy. Sorry for being crazy tall. It's fine. I don't care if there's 15 centimeters between us. You're still my adorable Sato. Thanks, but it doesn't really make me feel better. Still, you must have stood out a lot back in your time, huh? Yeah, I was taller than most adult men back then. From what I can remember, I think everyone found it a bit creepy. Sorry to hear that. It's not like you could help it. Well, they treated me like some kind of monster because of it. Most people straight up avoided me.
Right, just because she's taller? I never understand why people care about when people are tall or short. It's the weirdest, most shallow thing I could ever hear. So weird.
That's awful. On the other hand, I do remember at least one person back then who kept trying to woo me.
Who was that?
Sounds like someone's jealous.
Hey, I ain't the kind of guy who's obsessed over his girlfriend's past. What's done is done.
Haha, nice line. I bet you've been wanting to say that one for ages.
Still, I mean, you've been alive for so long, there's way too much history to worry about.
Fair point. Honestly, I barely remember him myself. Although, I don't think I liked him all that much. He was just somebody important I couldn't say no to, or something like that.
Huh? Really? That's good to hear. Why is that good to hear, dude?
At least as far as I can remember, anyway. I thought you didn't care.
Well, I guess you having so much more experience under your belt makes me feel a bit out of your league.
I see. Plus, since you confessed to me, I'm clearly starting with the upper hand in this relationship.
Ah, damn it. You're never gonna let me live that down, are you? Yeah, they're adorable, dude.
I would have assumed he'd be thinking about tomorrow's plan. Never imagined he might be thinking about what comes after that. He's so sure we're gonna succeed. Knowing that makes me feel so much more confident. His easygoing attitude is actually reassuring right now. I'm so glad he's here with me. My heart won't stop racing. I've never felt this way before. I didn't think I could feel something new after living for 800 years. The fact that he's an 800-year immortal too probably has something to do with it. With him, I feel safe. There's nothing I'd be afraid to tell him. But that's not all there is to it. There are some people you could know for decades and still not fall in love with them. And then there are those you just can't live without, barely a second after you meet. Even a bond that lasted centuries can fall apart in a single day. Love isn't measured by time. Maybe it's too much to say we're soulmates, but that's how it feels to me. Even Suyu's been saying that we should get married because we're clearly made for each other. Not that I've told Yuza that. It'd be way too embarrassing. I don't want to say goodbye to Yuza. Feels like I've waited 800 years for him, and now a lot of things might be destroyed tomorrow. Everything the Islanders have been protecting, heck, even some relationships might crumble. But still, we're going to do it. We've made up our minds. We'll see our final wish through no matter what.
What is it? What is the plan? I want to know. Okay, I'm almost certain now that the save file thing is them talking to each other now. When I load, there's a save down here that you can go to, and it must be them talking to each other. I don't know, I'd have to read it again, but I know it's two people talking to each other about being, or they seem like they're two immortals speaking back and forth, but it's kind of cryptic and hard to understand, but I think maybe it's them. That's my thought now, but I don't know, we'll load that back up here in a minute. We gotta see Yuza's side of that same scene. Yuza Minakuchi meets Sato Shiranami, a fellow immortal, in secret over the past month and grows closer to her. A decisive night befalls them. It's interesting to be like this exact same memory from two different perspectives. So now we just get to see what actually is on Yuza's mind, huh? The cool night sky is teeming with stars. The wind gently brushes the trees as ocean waves echo in the distance. Looking over the sea puts my mind at ease. Sato sits quietly, watching the ebb and flow of the tide. I wonder what she's thinking about. Is she carefully contemplating what comes next? Can't just put it out all on her. I need to think too. Okay, I can't just put it all... Okay, I don't know why I said out. I can't just put it all on her. I need to think too. So that means I need to use the thinking command. Just going to look for stickers real quick. Of course, there's none. Alright, let's think. We don't have much time. Honestly, we really should have made up our minds long ago. But there's still a chance. I refuse to give up until it's all over. When we were here yesterday, I told Sato how I felt. I said I loved her, that if it were somehow possible, I'd be with her forever. I knew it would only make things harder for her, so I agonized over whether to say anything for a long time. But it wasn't just me. She told me she felt exactly the same way. Either way, one of us only has days left to live, the other has 795 years. Sharing our feelings meant nothing. It will only make parting harder. We thought we could bury our feelings somewhere they would never emerge from. But I wanted her to know how I felt before we ran out of time. As luck would have it, she had also been worrying about whether or not to tell me how she felt. Even though I felt like I had lost a battle of wills, I was still glad I told her. And yet, once I let those feelings out, feelings that should never have been revealed, there was no controlling them anymore. My desire to spend the rest of my life with her burned like a searing flame in my chest. We contemplated possible ways for us to remain together. And the answer came to us surprisingly fast, an answer that we shouldn't have even considered. There was no time to concern ourselves with the right or wrong of it. We didn't even hesitate. Only one option was available to us, and we intended to take it. There was hardly enough time to see it through. Hell, even if we had longer, the odds of our plan succeeding were dismally low. It was nothing more than our final vain act of rebellion.
But what is it?
I want to know. Sato sits quietly, watching the ebb and flow of the tide. Okay, same thing. I wonder what she's thinking about, so we gotta talk to her first. What are you thinking about?
Huh? I was thinking about how we first met.
A month ago?
Yeah. Back then, you said you wouldn't bother me. But you peeked over at me like 5 times, didn't you?
I thought I was being sneaky. And you even counted the number of times? But if you were counting, I guess you must have been watching me too, right?
I didn't realize I was giving myself away, but you're right. I was looking at you.
Ah, so that's why you crept up behind me to scare me, huh?
I wasn't trying to scare you. I just wanted to see your surprised face.
So, you were trying to scare me. Well, you honestly got me good.
Haha, you definitely got me back the next day. I love that memory. With a memory like that, there's nothing else I need. I have no regrets.
Come on, you can't be all fulfilled and complete already. We're only just getting started.
Right. Only getting started.
Can't believe she was thinking about that day at a time like this. That carefree side of her is so dang adorable, though. Can't be upset with her. My heart won't stop racing. I never felt this way before. At first, I thought it was simply because we were both immortal, that our closeness was a feeling of kinship. But it's more than that.
I've never gotten along with someone so well, especially someone who's lived such a different life from my own. Feels like I've found a missing piece of myself. My heart is whole when I'm with her. Our very souls are in harmony. Well, that might be pushing it a bit. Even Gran saw how compatible we are and urged me to get married already. That was too embarrassing for me to tell Sato about, though.
That's funny. So Suyu told both of them that they should get married on separate occasions. That's kind of funny.
There's no way I can lose her. Can't even conceive of life without her. Even with 800 years of my life ahead of me, I'll never meet anyone remotely as amazing as her. If there was some way to use my immortality to stay with her, I'd do it in an instant. Whatever form I would have to take, I wouldn't complain. I'd sell my soul to the devil if it would get me what I desired. We've made up our minds. We'll see our final wish through, no matter what.
I feel like they could be trying to like somehow make Yuza die as well or something. I really don't know. Are they gonna try to find another mermaid that Sato can take a bite of and somehow that gives her another 800 years? I don't think that's how it works. But I don't know. My apologies for the interruption. I simply wish to confirm your understanding of a certain point. Okay, yeah, help me out here, dude. Yuza Minakuchi and Sato Shiranami attempted in vain to hide their feelings for one another, and now they are hatching a plan. Considering how much you're remembered already, I'm certain you'll recall this fact as well. So let me ask you, what can be done to intertwine two lives that were never meant to stay together? What can be done? And then I have a 1, 2, and 3? What does that mean? Yuzumi Nakuchi, Sato Shiranami, Azami Kumoi, Tsukasa, Tsuyumi Nakuchi, and Shotaro Wakamura. And then there's 1, 2, and 3? What is that? What does that mean? I mean, we're talking about Yuza and Sato. Oh, it's something that person has to do. Must forcibly, must ultimately, must completely, must eternally, must momentarily, must once again. Oh my gosh. Is there some ancient story that tells me this? Okay, hold on. Let me look at traditions and history. Tamakazuki, Ishibe Mermaid Legend, Mermaids, Yao Bikini, Mermaid Mummy, Telev, Rishinotaro. I don't think there's anything in that story that would say Ryugu. I mean, could it have something to do with Ryugu? Because it's like a place. I don't know, but they can't like force themselves into Ryugu, right? Kuki, Princess Hasune, Chirino Tamori. Maybe Princess Hasune. Legend of the Princess Hasune. This is just like that lie that was said about Sato. The Tajima biography of Toshimi, Bureau of Onmyo. There's a bunch of these stories in here. Could one of these have something in it? And it's not just ceremony of falconry excursion when he catches sight of two beautiful sisters. Eventually he cuts off a sleeve of his robe, inscribes a waka poem, and sends it to them. The man, having finally succeeded in stealing away the beautiful noble woman, flees with her to a warehouse where they take shelter in the rain. However, the man discovers the morning that she has disappeared, devoured by a demon that inhabited the warehouse. Oh, that's scary. Feeling despondent about the future, a man embarks on a journey to the east with a group of friends. Mikawa province. He catches sight of some beautiful flowers and reflects on how far his journey has brought him and recites a poem. In Suruga province, he sees snow at the peak of Mount Fuji, contemplates patches of time. In Musashi province, he spots an unfamiliar bird on the shores of Sumida River, recalls his wife and hometown, and recites a poem. His friends all weep upon hearing the latter, moved by his feelings for his faraway home. Closer to childhood, a man and a woman exchange poems and are wed, but when the man prepares to travel far away from the province to visit his other lover, what the hell? The woman displays no hint of displeasure as she sees him off on his journey. Suspicious of her actions, the man hides in her garden and watches as his wife makes herself up beautifully as she can. When she then sits and recites poems out of concern for her traveling husband, he feels profound shame and decides not to go. Having been sent to Ise province to hunt game, a man is received with great hospitality by the imperial princess, serving as priestess of Ise shrine. Attracted to each other, the two attempt to meet in secret and can go find no opportunity to speak intimately. Although they promise one another to meet the following day, it is not meant to be. The two exchange poems of farewell. They fall in love with the woman who serves as an imperial court. A man finally manages to meet her after patiently waiting for the right moment. However, the two are still separated by a screen. Then recites a poem to her, proclaiming that his love for her is greater than the Hikoboshi's love for Orihime. He compares the screen separating them to the Milky Way that separated the two legendary lovers. Moved by the words, the woman removes the screen, allowing them to finally meet face to face. Okay, nothing in there. That didn't help me at all. Culture and society. I don't know, I thought there'd be something in here. Maybe this is what that load thing would tell me. Maybe it would give me the hint that I need. Must ultimately, must completely, must eternally, must momentarily, must once again. You know, hold on, let me go back. Sato must once again be made immortal? That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Sacrifice, be shaved bald, be danced with, be loved, be made immortal. Sato Shiranami must once again be made immortal, you say? That is correct. And you chose the right answer on your very first attempt. Well done indeed. Wow, it actually even knows if I did it first try. Okay, I mean, that was what I thought from the beginning, so okay. I don't know why I didn't just go straight for that. My bad. I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense, right? If they actually want to be together, I mean, like, actually. And the three things I thought was I was going to have to do three different people, but it was just three parts of the question, I see. Indeed, as there is no way to undo a curse of 800-year immortal. The only way for them to remain together would be to somehow obtain the flesh of a mermaid. So it does work like that? They believe they have no choice but to make Sato Shiranami live for another 800 years. As such, the plan they hatched was to obtain a second helping of immortality. So are they going to, like, take a bite out of... What's her name? I already forgot her name. Well, her name's Nagami, right? That's her mermaid name. She's the Miss Shiki or whatever. Yumiko, is that her name? Shiki? Are they gonna eat her? What? But they gotta use the Tame Tobacco. Okay, so that's... Okay, so this must be why Sato needs the Tame Tobacco so bad in that one chapter, is because she needs it to put the mermaid flesh in so that it, like, after you cut it off of the mermaid, it goes dormant and doesn't have the qualities it needs. But if you put it in the Tame Tobacco, it's like it went back to Ryugu. Then you can eat it, and that's how you get mortality. So that must be why Sato wants to get it from Arnov so bad. But we couldn't figure out how to do that when we were in that chapter. So maybe this is gonna, like, now unlock something for her to say. As such, the plan they hatched was to obtain a second helping of immortality. A truly radical concept. Such a method goes against the very laws of nature, but it is not my place to judge. Please enjoy the continuation of their story. It's interesting, I was turning into a love story. That's nice. Started out as some horrible massacre with curses, and now it's a love story between two people who are going to live for 800 years together. Oh, how nice. I told Azumi about our plan to find a mermaid, and he agreed to help. Oh, that's why Yuza wants to find a mermaid. Duh. That just dawned on me, because the whole time I thought he wanted to find a mermaid because he thought his mom might have been a mermaid. But no, it's because he needs to have Sato eat some of her flesh so they can be together. Oh, it all started, this whole thing started with him wanting to find a mermaid really badly. Wow, okay. Man, this game really has a lot of ways you can interpret things. I like that. That's why I like these games, and I want them to keep making them. Okay, anyways, and he agreed to help, yeah. We'll go diving tomorrow morning and hopefully find a clue.
I'm sorry I can't be of any more help. I just can't remember anything else. But I'm sure there was a mermaid on Taishima.
Don't worry about it. At least now we know where to start the search. It really seems like my mom had some connection with mermaids though, huh?
Definitely. Suyu showed me that scale and it really looks like it came from a mermaid.
Yeah, it does, right? That's what I thought the whole time. It looks like it came from a mermaid.
How strange would it be if it turned out your mom was actually a mermaid all along?
Yeah, but even I think that's a bit of a leap. If I start diving in the Southern Sea, people are bound to start talking about my mom again. Which will give us a chance to hear more details that we might not be aware of. That's the hope anyway. Tried to keep my head down as much as I could until now, but I can't stand idly by anymore.
Lately there's been talk around the island of ominous signs. Maybe that'll work in our favor.
You mean people talking about the storm coming? Yeah, that could be just the push we need. Also, about the person you said you met today. Yumiko Shiki from the Paranormal Affairs Bureau, was it? She definitely seems like she knows something.
Yeah, there's something suspicious about her.
She's like touching her neck where she's got that bruise too. I've always wondered, like, that's probably finally gonna come up because she's got like some weird bruise thing on her neck.
I think she didn't pay much attention to me because she knows I don't have much longer to live. But she apparently has the power to detect immortals, and when she finds them, she locks them up somewhere.
They've been watching me too, so they might already have their suspicions. I'll be careful. It's pretty wild to think that we're being hunted by the government authorities, though. I guess people like us really can't be allowed to exist. I don't think they'd be too happy about us searching for mermaid flesh either. It'd be great if we could somehow get some information out of them.
That might be difficult. We don't even know if they'll be coming back to Kamishima tomorrow.
True. Guess we could always go to the mainland.
Yuza?
Yeah?
Do we really have to be so secretive about it? Can we tell Tsukasa and Azumi everything and ask them to help us?
It's not that I don't trust them, because I do. It's just that the more people there are that know a secret, the more likely it is to come out. If people find out there's a way to become immortal, it would cause a total uproar. Even the police would be after us then. Heck, every person who wants to live forever would be looking for us. Can't force Azumi and Tsukasa to get caught up in all that.
You're right. If anyone is going to be locked up, it should be us.
Exactly. That's why we should keep our mermaid search as quiet as possible. Besides, if we told anyone else, it'd be harder to keep the fact that you're an immortal girl hidden.
But wouldn't it all come out when the police come around asking questions? I guess I can just play dumb and pretend I don't know anything until they come up with some solid evidence. We probably shouldn't let people know about us either. It'd just make it harder for us to continue our search.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Let's try to stay apart as much as possible from tomorrow, just to be safe. As of now, I doubt anyone knows about our relationship.
Yeah, I'm sure no one has caught on yet.
Except Suyu, I guess, right? Let's avoid all unnecessary contact. Oh, hey, what's up, Panda? Good afternoon, buddy. What's up, man? How's it going? You want to play some Factorio in a little bit? Let's avoid all unnecessary contact while we each continue searching for mermaid flesh on our own. We can set specific times to meet up and share information, but we'll have to make sure no one sees us together.
Right. I'll avoid interacting with you in public.
But if we need to contact each other in an emergency, we can leave some kind of signal at a place we often walk by. Oh, that's why we find that on the ground. Man, everything's coming together. Oh, I know. I'll leave this Kameshimaru keychain in front of the town clock. If you see it there, do you think you could come to the roof of the Kante Kisho?
Oh, that's the one I gave you. Okay, Kameshimaru can be our go-between.
Well, I guess that gives us 2 days to find what we need. I know it'll take a miracle, but we can't give up.
Right.
Dad just got back from work. Nice. We're going to log in now while my food cooks. Then have a shower and food, and then log on properly until midnight. Okay, that sounds good, man. Sounds good. Yeah, go ahead and throw some repair supplies on that transport, man, because it needs a couple of grabbers and I think some belts, maybe some foundation as well. It got pretty pounded, unfortunately. But it's not too bad. It's not like beyond repair or anything like that. But I was afraid to send it back to Nalvis. So definitely got to send up something at Fulgora, I think. All right, let's see. I'm really getting to the juicy part of the story, dude. It like started out as like a horror, like curse thing, dude, but it's turning into a love story, and it's very adorable, and I like it a lot. It's relieving in a way. Okay, let's see. There's still nothing I can think of in possessions I can do differently, but I think now claim can have something different in it, because we need to get the Tame Tobacco, which weird is that it not said anything about that though. But there's no other new thing here, so I have to do something different either here or here. The weird thing is I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to get some of Yumiko's flesh. Weird, dude. But it must be something that fills this spot eventually. I just saw that. I'm gonna let the ammunition build up before I send it. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I think it needed those grippers really just to get rid of like the extra stuff on the belt or whatever, so we can keep ejecting things, so it doesn't keep filling up. What I did was I kept like removing belts that were full, so that it would, and then replacing them so that it would it would kind of empty it that way, because I couldn't give it to the grabbers because the grabbers weren't there anymore. But yeah, you got it. I'm sure you got it figured out. All right, let's see. I'm gonna do claim next, and we're gonna see if maybe there's another way we can try to get the Tame Tobacco from Avi. All right, let's see. Sato entrusts Tsukasa with being the point of contact while she goes to search for Yuza Minakuchi. Oh, that's weird. I thought this was... I always swore claim was the one where she talks to Avi. Maybe it still is, and that's just weird. Okay, let's see. Resume. Yeah, it is. End with Avi in possession of the Tame Tobacco. That's what we ended with, but we want to change that. But there's nothing new at the beginning, so yeah, it'd still start from the lighthouse when she talks to Avi. So hopefully we'll have a different option here. We'll see. Lesson learned, I guess. Every ship needs to have 100 repair packs on it at all times. Yeah, true. For sure. Maybe even more than 100, dude, just to be totally safe. But yeah, at least. All right, I've already done most of this one, so I'll probably skip to what might be new.
Oh, there they are.
So now we know things.
Okay, let's think about what I need to do now. These two have a special box called the Tame Tobacco. I need to get it from them no matter what. I have to find a way to convince them to hand it over. This is the only chance I'm going to get. I'll share what I know bit by bit and hook their interest and negotiate from there. Really not sure I can pull this off, but I have to try. Excuse me.
You rang?
Ah, yes. Could I speak with you for a moment?
Permission granted.
Oh, thank you. Oh, don't mind him. He's always gets a little carried away. Right. So you're Avi, an author, and Cersei here is your guide?
Indeed. Great to meet you, Sato.
I've actually heard about you from around the island. Oh, really? It would seem we've become quite famous in these parts. I'd say we're more on the infamous side, but sure. Her blonde hair is so beautiful, I've never seen it in person before. And her outfit also looks so unusual. Maybe it's traditional clothing from her country. Let's try thinking again. There's got to be some option here. They must have the reasons for finding the Tommy Tobacco. If I can get them to give that up, maybe they'll hand it over to me without too much fuss. What's the best way to approach this? What is the best way to approach this? I don't know. That's what I need to know from somewhere. Let's talk to Cersei first. Hello. Oh, hello. That's interesting. I sense something peculiar about you. Huh? Do you? It's definitely strange, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Are you really human? I think so.
Hey now, Cersei, that's an awfully rude thing to say to someone. Do forgive her. She still doesn't quite know how to start a conversation.
No, it's fine.
Now let's think.
What the hell was that? She just comes out and asks me if I'm human? How in the world could she tell something was off? He doesn't know what I am, right?
No, I can't remember what she says there at the last, but I'm sure it doesn't matter that much. Let's talk to her again.
Sorry. No, really, it's fine.
Think again. Okay, she just says that again. Everything should be fine. Yeah, right.
Let's look at Arnov. Now that I think about it, this is my first time meeting someone from overseas. They do feel different somehow, but I can't quite put it into words.
Alright, we'll see if anything different happens when I talk to him.
I heard you were searching for a mermaid, is that true?
Oh, tell me, young lady, do you perchance know of a mermaid? Because if so, you must tell.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know anything about any specific mermaid. No, please don't look so disappointed. I feel bad now. You see, I'm rather interested in mermaids, so I was hoping I could ask you a little bit more about them. Now you look both disappointed and annoyed. Did I say something wrong? Well, the last person who asked the same thing nearly cursed us to death. What?
Indeed. The people of this island are nothing but trouble. I've had enough of it. You're the same, aren't you? You're just after immortality like everyone else. Admit it.
What? Well, I need to steer the conversation toward the tobacco. What should I say?
See, I've already tried both of these, but she is looking for immortality. Now I know that, because before I didn't think she was, but now I know she is. Hey, what's up, Baba? Yo, dude, happy Sunday. Yeah, happy Sunday, man. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you guys being here. How you guys doing? What you guys up to today? All right, I'm going to have her admit that she is looking for it, but last time that didn't really get me anywhere. I'm really hoping for a new option here.
Yes, I must become immortal. Everything depends on it. If you know anything, I sincerely ask you tell me.
Ha! There it is. Your true colors. I knew it. You think I'd just hand over the Tommy Tobacco I struggled so hard to obtain?
Tommy Tobacco, please, I need it. Please, I need it no matter what.
No, look at the fire in those eyes. Look like there's more to this. Very well. Tell me your tale. If it arouses my spirit as an author, then I might just be persuaded to hand the box over. I don't know that he said that last time.
Really? All right, let me explain.
Tell the truth, keep a secret. Yeah, now I know the truth, so this is the different thing. Okay, gotta tell him the truth. Because as an author, I think he would like the tale of love, of immortal love. Gonna be resting last night. Was monthly maintenance. Was up late. Oh, damn. Like at work? It sounds like you were working all night then, huh? Damn. Yeah, rest up, dude. Okay, tell the truth.
I'll tell you, but you have to promise that you won't tell anyone else about this.
Of course, I swear it. My lips are sealed tighter than a well-corked bottle.
Is that supposed to be reassuring?
Don't worry. We won't go breaking any promises.
Alright then, where do I even start? The truth is, I'm what is known as an 800-year immortal. I'm already immortal.
Huh? What? Is all that true?
Wait, are you trying to say that you are that Asato Kusawa? The real one? Yes, that's probably me.
Hell yeah, this is totally different than last time. Look at Cersei's face, dude. She's like, what the fuck? Whoa, so that's why you're doing all this. So, yeah, brief and short, for those who are just joining us, she told them that she's an 800-year immortal. She has 2 days to live, but she just fell in love with a boy who's also an 800-year immortal, but he's only been an immortal for 5 years, so he's got like 795 years left. But they're in love now, and so they want to be together forever. And so she's trying to find a way to eat mermaid flesh again, so she can get another 800 years, so they can be in love for a long time. And so that's what she just told them.
Wait, no way. Are you being serious? Yes, completely serious. Which is why I need that Tame Tobacco no matter what.
You realize what you're saying is crazy, right? Anyone else would be dead against it.
Please. All I need is that Tame Tobacco. Avi, what do you think?
Are you sure you're all right with this? I can hardly call it sane.
Yes, this is what I want more than anything.
Very well, in that case. Amazing, such stunning spirit. I'll be happy to support that resolve, even if I stand alone. This must be the reason I found the Tame Tobacco in the first place. Here, take it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Got it. Now that we know the situation, it only makes sense for you to have it. You should have just said so sooner. That said, I would also like to know how things turn out, so be sure to let us know, okay?
Of course. I won't forget this kindness as long as I live.
Which will be hopefully another 800 years. Ha! Think nothing of it. But that does mean that I should apologize to you, Cersei, after all that trouble we went through to get it.
Well, you seem enthused enough by this turn of events. If you're happy with your choice, I don't mind.
Also, as I'm sure you already know, you still need mermaid flesh.
I know. I'll figure something out.
Oh, so you do have a lead on a mermaid. I'm intrigued, but I'll leave it at that for now. One more thing. Carrying the Tame Tobacco may draw some unsavory types. Be careful.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that. Well, we're heading back to the mainland to look for them, anyway.
Ah, yes. After sightseeing on Kamishima, we were supposed to return post-haste.
I see. Well, thank you, and good luck.
Yeah, they're supposed to be looking for a comb, I think, already. Okay, now we go to the Minakuchi residence. Are we just going to use the scale? Because Suyu has a mermaid scale, and we're going to eat the scale? Is that what... I was thinking we were going to have to get a piece of fucking Nagami or whatever, but maybe that's never going to come out. All right, well, I thought that would be more exciting.
Hello? Is anyone home? Who am I kidding? I know no one's here.
So I'm pretty sure... I'm not going to go straight for it. We'll look around at stuff.
A calendar handed out by the local association. There's one at Wakamura's place, too. This one's still showing last month, though. There's a circle around the day that marks the day Yuza came home. She must have been really looking forward to it. A built-in cupboard fitted snug against the wall, and you can tell it's been here a long time. These kinds of cupboards help the room feel less cramped. I was so impressed the first time I saw one. Modern design sure is smart. The inside, though, is a bit messy, so you tend to just toss anything in there to get it out of the way.
Oh yeah, look for a bird sticker, which I'm sure if there was one, I would have already found it. But yeah, here it is. Oh, no, it's a question mark. So we haven't?
Oh, what's this?
Nice, it's a new one. I had to have looked for one before, though. Yeah, I'd already found it. Okay, it's not a new one, because I would still have 4 missing. Okay. Surroundings.
I visited this room so many times while helping look after Suyu. The owner's away, but people on the island don't usually lock up all that tightly. I'd also been asked to come while they were out to help with chores, so by now I know the place well.
Are the bird stickers mocking you? No, not really. They're just mockingbird stickers. But what's up, Pon? Good to see you here as well. Let's see, family altar.
This is the Minakuchi family's altar. There are memorable tablets for Suyu's husband, her son Tosuke, and her daughter-in-law Made here. I'm sure she never expected they'd all go before her. It must have been hard to deal with.
Yeah, poor Suyu, man. That has had a pretty rough time of it. And she's just so nice still. Not bitter at all about it, or like super depressed. She seems to keep her chin up.
It's an altar shelf. Buddhist objects and keepsakes are neatly arranged on it. It also has something Suyu once showed me. Here it is.
I'm pretty sure it's what we're here for.
There's something about it, but I can't put my finger on what. What should I do with it?
Put it in the Tame Tobacco. It'll make it, like, authentically mermaid again.
Maybe something will happen if I put this in the Tame Tobacco.
You know, look any different?
Okay, it's in.
Waiting.
Nothing happened. Darn.
Wait longer. Take it back out. I'm sure you only have to put it in there for like a second. It's just got to go back to you.
Seems like nothing's changed.
Maybe I should have waited longer.
Let me put it back on the shelf where it belongs.
Okay, hold on. Can we do that again? And wait longer next time? I don't know, because it's not mermaid flesh, right? It's a scale, so we need flesh. We need something we can eat. You can't like, eat a scale, can you? Either way, I'm going to try it again. Mermaid? Yeah, this is all about mermaids. And like it basically, everything kind of bases around the fact that there's this ancient idea that if you eat mermaid flesh, that you become immortal. But the thing about it is that if the mermaid is not in its own realm of Ryugu, that once it leaves the mermaid's body, it loses its potency to make you, well, to curse you, because it's a curse of immortality. But the thing about this box specifically is it's from Ryugu, and it represents like a little pocket of Ryugu. So if you put the mermaid flesh back into this box, it's supposed to get the traits as if it were freshly from Ryugu again, and then you can eat the flesh from this box and then get the curse. I like mermaids, but not to eat, but the aesthetic. Right, yeah, for sure. And these mermaids too, I mean, this story kind of like mixes and matches. They talk about how there's two types of mermaids, and the ancient Japanese mermaids apparently weren't like Ariel from The Little Mermaid. They weren't human from the waist up and fish from the waist down. They were all fish except the head was a human, and they were more like yokai, so like a demon type of thing. And there's like a lot of different lore around them than we would normally associate. So they didn't really like come from like the Greek sirens. They were more like a demon and like some weird fish that you would catch maybe, or something like that. But yeah, the way they're depicted in this game is pretty cool when you see them, because they look like almost like water dragons with a beautiful one's face, but the whole body's like this crazy huge like fish thing. It's pretty cool. But in this game, there are two types. So the half fish, half women ones apparently do exist, I guess, but we've not really seen them. They've only ever depicted them in actuality as being the ones that just have the face. So it's pretty interesting lore. Okay, we're gonna wait longer this time and see if anything happens. Wait longer.
Let's wait a little longer. Nope, still nothing.
Way longer. It's probably not gonna do anything, because it's just a scale. It's not flesh. I feel like we need flesh. So maybe my thought is still correct, because there is a woman who was a mermaid who she had an onimoji, who's like a Japanese like magician guy, do some sort of ritual that gave her a human body because she was in love with him and she wanted to be a human really bad. Classic Ariel type thing. And so that magician guy gave up his own body so she could have a human body. And then I think he's like has his consciousness residing in a dog or something like that. But anyway, so she's like a housewife, but she actually works for the Paranormal Affairs Bureau in Japan. So she's kind of like a cop, and she's here like investigating paranormal stuff. But we know as the audience that she is a mermaid. She's the third mermaid, Nagami, that's actually still like out of Ryugu. And so I think if we need flesh, it's got to come from her. But I don't think she's going to give up flesh to anybody. So it'll be interesting to see how the story makes that happen, if it does, if I'm right. But I'm positive she's a mermaid, not positive that we're going to have to eat her flesh. All right, we'll take it back out. It looks like nothing's going to happen. Yeah, seems like nothing changed. Okay. Just a red herring, maybe. But I don't know how you'd eat a scale anyways. A scale doesn't seem like flesh to me. So, not surprised that that didn't work.
All sorts of things are scattered on the floor here. Even with this much storage, people still leave things lying about. Guess some things never change.
Yeah, so like, just to give you a little more context too, this girl that we're playing as Sato is 800 years old. She's trying to get another 800 years because she's fallen in love with someone who's recently become an immortal. Well, 800-year immortal. And so, yeah, that's why she's like, some things never change, because she's from 800 years ago.
This chest of drawers is mostly just Suyu's clothes. I've helped put away the laundry, so I have a rough idea what goes where, but there's still her personal things, so I shouldn't open it while she isn't here.
Even though we did open her altar.
A sliding glass door that leads out to an outdoor spot to dry laundry. It doesn't get much sun, though.
Okay, I think we've looked at everything. So I guess there... Oh, there's the light.
A light with a wooden frame. Looks like this design evolved from those old lamps with paper shades. I'm glad this older look still turns up here and there.
Okay, yeah, there's not really anything else to do. We'll think, I guess. Let's see what she's thinking.
The skill didn't do anything. Damn.
Yep. Gonna be more complicated than that, unfortunately. Yuza's gonna have to, you know, do his end of the deal, I guess. Oh, but that didn't do anything? Well, okay, but now it's different because if I resume, it should say she has the Tame Tobacco. Yeah. Ended with Sato in possession of the Tame Tobacco. So that will change something. But what will it change? Because, okay, we can go back here and try doing a we need a plan, but this doesn't really have anything to do with the Tame Tobacco or their plan. I don't know. It's interesting, real name is not an option anymore either. Because there was another option there I thought we would be able to take, but it's now grayed out, which means that all the options have been exhausted. But we need a plan. I failed because I didn't know what the plan should be, because I feel like I don't have all the information for it. And I don't know what we can do that's different with possessions. I honestly have no idea. Because we got the Tame Tobacco here, which happens after possessions. So giving Sato the Tame Tobacco is not going to change Arnav during possessions. He's still going to have it then. Because I'm just thinking if he didn't have it, then Kikuko would not maybe confront him, because she confronted him because he had it. But we don't want Kikuko to have her curse stone anyway, so I'm not sure. Maybe I should try loading that weird save and seeing, yeah, I guess that's what I'll do. I'll see if there's any clues there. Asking her to cut her up might not be the best. Yeah, exactly. And especially since, okay, like another piece of like information here is that Yumiko, the lady who was a mermaid, since she works for the Paranormal Affairs Bureau, what they usually do when they find out someone's an 800-year immortal is they lock them up, because it's like too dangerous for like people to know that you can become immortal and stuff. So the Paranormal Affairs Bureau usually keeps them in like confined so that people don't know that they exist, so that, you know, it doesn't like get people trying to hunt down mermaids or starting wars or some shit. So it's like extra dangerous to approach her about it because of that, because she'll like want to lock them up. So, which is, you know, great for the story, good conflict or whatever. All right, let's do a save really quick. And then we'll load. In fact, actually, I'm going to take a quick bio break, and then we'll come back and load that mysterious save. Let's see, the factory backed up with 3 iron chests full of epic materials. Oh, nice, dude. Hell yeah, that many epic materials, dude? Heck yeah, dude. We can make some good stuff then. Do we have any copper epic stuff? Because that'll be the next thing to get pretty much, like, at least all of our, like, our equipment, I feel like, after we get that, right? Hell yeah, man, that's awesome. All right, I'll BRB real quick, guys, and I'll be right back, and we'll continue. I just got to take a quick bio break. Let's see. All right, so this game is full of weird meta stuff, so let's do one of these meta things. I had found this earlier, but it didn't amount to much for me at the time, but I think now this is going to be Yuza and Sato talking to each other, which are the two that have fallen in love that are trying to get 800 years together. I think. So, I don't know. Let's reload it and see if that helps us. Kids these days will never experience super cheesy ads. Yeah. I mean, I guess their ads are cheesy probably in their own right? I guess I don't even know what ads are like anymore. What do I know? I don't watch any ads, dude. I've successfully ad blocked everything, so yeah. Well, that didn't make sense. Oh, what was it? One of the ads that didn't make sense? All right, here we go. Yes. I still have that message you left me, you know. Wait, you do? But it must have dried up ages ago. Okay, message must have dried up ages ago. Okay. That's not ringing any bells yet. The thoughts I wove into it should have faded, too. Surely you can't hear the message anymore. Yep, I can't hear a word. But it doesn't matter. It's an important memento, and a part of you as well. That's enough for me to treasure it. Oh, come on. You're going to make me blush. I was really happy when you shared this with me all that time ago. Well, you know. I can't just show myself in front of anyone, can I? See, to me that sounds like a mermaid talking. I can't just show myself in front of anyone. That seems like something a mermaid might say. Ah, memories. Is there really no way to hear the message again after it's dried up? If you found a way to return it to the environment of the eternal world, it would be restored to its original state. You might be able to hear it then. See, that's the Tame Tobacco. So there's some message that we need to put into the Tame Tobacco. But what is it? That the message that's dried up is not obvious to me. Oh, you can do that? Using the Tame Tobacco would probably do it. Right, exactly. What I just said. Oh, but I don't think a normal human would be able to hear the message anymore. Sorry. I guess it's impossible after all. Oh, that's too bad. Ah, but if you were a spirit, you might be able to hear it by retracing the echo it left in your mind. Okay, but if you were a spirit, you might be able to hear it by retracing the echo. Retracing the echo it left in your mind. What does that mean? Because I feel like as a spirit, maybe me as the audience is the spirit, maybe? If I'm interpreting that right? Retracing the echo it left in your mind. The echo it left in your mind. Wait, wouldn't I have to be dead for that? That's a no-go then. Huh. But I could be the spirit. Hey, what's up, man? It's been a while. How have you held up? I've been holding up pretty well. How about you, dude? Yeah, it's good to see a familiar face, or username, in this case. Yeah, how you been? What you been up to? I've been doing well, man. Still streaming now and then, as you can see. Mostly just visual novels lately. Just this visual novel lately. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad to see you. Thanks for coming by, everybody. Everybody's coming to say hi today. It's making me feel so good. Thank you. Wouldn't I have to be dead for that? I mean, I'm not dead as the audience, I guess, but I don't know, because we kind of were represented by this spirit called a Tomokazuki. At least that's how Yuza thinks of us when we, like, tell him things through the game. Because he acknowledges us in this, like, one of the chapters. He's like, yeah, there's this thing that, like, seems to, like, tell me what to do, and I follow it because it just feels right, and it usually helps me out. Except I screwed up on that one, but, you know. These memories, could they have belonged to a mermaid? Yeah, exactly. Could they belong to a mermaid? That's what I was thinking. It sounded like a mermaid. See, that didn't really help me at all, though. The echoes. I guess the echoes, retracing the echoes would be going back to a different chapter. That could be an echo, right? Interesting. Been traveling a lot, and I've gotten into a D&D group a couple of months ago. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Playing some Dungeons and Dragons. So you guys got a good campaign going then for a couple months? I'm actually trying to start a tabletop RPG myself, trying to do some GMing for a couple people that I know. We haven't started yet. I've been like preparing or whatever. So, but yeah, it should be later this month. We're gonna have our first session, so I'm pretty excited myself. But that is awesome, man. You playing D&D proper then, or maybe a different TTRPG? And I assume if it's D&D, it's 5. What they call it, 5.5 now, the newest one. I haven't played the newest one. I haven't played D&D since 4th edition, but I hear a lot of good things about 5th edition. So still something I can do in claim somehow. Let me go to resume. So there's still something different at the lighthouse I can do? Okay, that's weird. Still something different. And then start from the Minakuchi residence. So there must be something else that we can have happen that will make something different happen at the Minakuchi residence. Because we put the scale in the Time of Tobacco and nothing happened. Could Arnov have given us a decoy? That'd be crazy. Curse of Strahd, also, we started with 5th and are not changing mid-campaign. Okay, gotcha, nice. So you're just like classic 5th edition then, that's cool. Hell yeah. I don't really know what the difference between the new 5th edition and classic are, honestly. I am not up to date on that stuff. The one I'm trying out is called Sword World. It's a Japanese TTRPG system that I read about, and it's coming to America finally, officially, later this year. There's a group that's like a company that's working with the Japanese company to translate it, but I found some community translated copies of the books, so I'm trying that out, and I'm going to buy the official books when they come out to support them, because it seems pretty cool. I think it's pretty interesting. The differences between it and D&D I think are interesting, but you know, I've yet to play it, so I don't know how it'll feel, but it's different. You know, the way that you build characters seems like way more open. I think is kind of interesting. But yeah, it doesn't have as much content as D&D, I would say. At least not that's been translated, but there is quite a bit of content. But yeah, you know, it's interesting. I thought I'd try it out. It's all like anime art, which is, you know, cool with me. I like anime. But yeah. But yeah, I've also heard that Curse of Strahd is a good one. I've heard some people talk about that one. That's a pretty popular one, it seems like. Definitely a cool one to check out, I bet. Let's see. Should I go back to We Need a Plan? Should I try Possessions again? Where at Possessions can we do something different? Oh, it's just the whole thing. Oh, no, here we go. Okay. Start from Standoff with Mirror. Start from Kikuko's attack. Current state, Kikuko has been subdued. If we don't subdue Kikuko... I mean, if we don't do that, then Sato could never have gotten the Time of Tobacco if, like, we let her kill Avi, which I don't even know if we can do that. But the other outcome I know that you can do is you can kill Kikuko instead of capturing her. I don't know what that would do any different if we killed her. Standoff with the mirror. What, do I know anything now that would change the standoff with the mirror? I don't know, because the main thing I've learned is about Yuza and Sato, so I don't know how that would change anything. I don't know, with these 3 options, I'm a little stumped. I mean, I can try going back to the plan thing, because this does involve Yuza and Sato, so maybe there's something different here that I'll have as an option. So we'll try that one, I guess. I assume I can resume from having to decide what to do. Yeah, start from the plan details. Okay, we'll try that. I got it. I have a plan, probably. Really? All right, Yuza. Yuza, before you tell us your idea, allow me to impart a warning. Okay. Whatever you tell us, I'm going to trust your judgment and carry out your plan immediately. As things stand, we simply have no time to weigh the options or consider other avenues. Do you understand? We can only choose once. There's no leeway for unnecessary steps. Wow, no pressure then. Now, lay out the entire plan. Who to ask and what to ask of them. Okay, so... Use as an option. I guess Sato isn't an option here. What? Use go diving, fool around, enact purification. Okay, so there's nothing new there. So maybe there's nothing new here I can do.
Shoot. Maybe we can at least try something different. Because I was thinking maybe there's something with Cersei we can do. Cersei's just not here in the immediate. So I don't know that she would be able to do anything. But maybe if somehow we could contact her. Because she's on this list. Because she could maybe call on the Guardian Spirit to maybe block... Because there's two things I feel like she could do. She could either call on the Guardian Spirit to maybe block Tomoshige from using his curse. Or she could use the Shikigami to maybe turn all of his business cards into butterflies and send them back to himself, because that's how that spell works. But I don't know if she can do that without like holding the message or whatever, because she used it earlier just to send a message to Arnov. I don't know, I really have to think about it. I had to put my metal dice in jail and they haven't been rolling well for me. Oh no. Metal dice are so cool though, so that sucks. But the other pair have been rolling way better, so I'm getting back into the campaign. I did Strahd in 2016 for 4E. That was the last time I played. Oh, nice. So you're kind of revisiting Strahd then. That's interesting. Also, the combat is way different. It is better, in my opinion. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing, that the combat it's different and better. Like, it's faster, I think, was like maybe the main thing that I heard about 5th edition. Which is good, because, yeah, in 4th edition, sometimes those rotations would take so long. And that's kind of why I was... attracted to the idea of Sword World, because it feels like it has like a really fast combat system as well. But one thing I thought was interesting about it as well, instead of doing AC, they use evasion and accuracy. So someone rolls for accuracy to see if they hit, and they have to beat the evasion of their target. And the target can either roll evasion, or the game gives you like flat numbers for monsters if you want to go faster. And I thought that was interesting, because it's like your armor just has a negation effect where you have like 2 defense, so if you do get hit, it just takes whatever damage they're going to do and removes 2 damage from it. So that to me feels more like what armor would do, I guess. So I thought that was also kind of an interesting thing about Sword World. But yeah, the speed thing though, I think is a big thing for any tabletop RPG for sure. Let's see, what other options do we have? Yumiko can do housework, consult with husband, use vision ability, that's not going to help. The weird thing is, like, in this scene, Yuza kept talking about Tsukasa and things we know about Tsukasa. So maybe we'll learn something about Tsukasa at some point. Because I thought it was just that we knew that she has like a secret father who's this rich man, but there's no way that's going to help in this situation. That's what I chose last time, and we got the bad ending. Which I'm sure we'll probably get the bad ending again if I choose the wrong thing here again. I think call on the Guardian Spirit sounds like the thing that would be the most effective here. Because like in this situation, for those of you join us, there is this bad guy. He's another 800-year immortal who became immortal the same time Sato did. He's trying to find Sato because he wants them to die together because they both have 2 days left. But now we know Sato is trying to live for another 800 years to be with Yuza. Who she actually loves, because she doesn't love this Tomoshige guy. He's just been forcing himself on her for 800 years, I guess. And he's threatened Sato that he's going to kill a bunch of people that he gave his business card to, because his curse works where as long as you have a symbol on something in your possession, and then he can just kill you with his curse. So we're trying to stop him from doing that. And that's like what this whole like screen is about. It's like, okay, so who does what in order to stop him? And I can pick multiple people to do things. And I think I don't have all of the information to have people do what they need to do. So unfortunately, I don't think I can actually win this at this point. I need to find some other piece of information from those other chapters. Because, yeah, she can't do anything. Avi can't do anything. Shotaro, Yumiko, Soto. Soto has some stuff. Use curse. What curse does he have? Let's remind ourselves of that. Maybe, because I don't even think I considered that earlier. I just considered his other 2 things. Curses. The ability to use particular curses to inflict harm or otherwise negate effects on others. Negative effects on others. Effects range from forcibly binding a target in place to dealing fatal wounds. The stronger the curse's effect, the greater the burden on the user. I mean, I guess he could use that too. I could have him and Cersei use their abilities. I just don't think it's going to do anything. I don't think that's the right answer. It doesn't feel like it's enough with the story to actually work. It's kind of like JJK. I'm not sure what JJK. It's not ringing any bells for me. I'm not sure what you're referencing there. Yeah, I don't know. I'll pick it and we'll see what happens, but I doubt it's going to do anything. Use curse. Yeah, I guess so. We'll confirm that. I doubt it's going to be any different. Very well. That's 2 in total. That's the plan. All right. Sounds like a plan to me. I'm sure it's going to work out.
This is our last chance. Let's keep it together.
I will now go appraise the people not here as to what you need them to do. At the same time, I'll also fulfill my own role in the plan. Very well. I'll enact the plan as soon as you give me the word. If all goes well, Ikoma's curse should have no effect. Which I'm sure this is not going to go well, dude. I feel like it can't be that simple. What? You selfish little brat! But very well. I'll make you regret that choice. Let's see how long that defiance of yours holds out. And then everybody died still, right? Are they even show them trying to use their things? Yeah, everybody dies still. Yep. So we got same thing we got earlier, so I'm just gonna skip through it. And I think you can just no, I gotta get to the credits, I guess, again. It's like they didn't even freaking try. I guess it's because he can use his curse from so far away for some reason. Just murder everyone. That sucks. So yeah, there's got to be some piece of information I need to have before I get to that scene. Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, I'm really bad when people try to take a name like that and shorten it. I'm sorry. I do know of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not like into it or anything. I watched the first couple episodes and it didn't really grip me, but I do know what you're talking about. I know of that anime for sure. There we go. Skip current scene. Yes. Dash it all. See, now this makes more sense there, because she says, forgive me. She can't. I won't be able to spend the next 800 years with you. Because at first I wasn't aware that she was trying to become an immortal again, so I wasn't sure what that meant. Now I know that is Sato talking to Yuza. Yes, Mr. Storyteller, I screwed up again. Yes, same thing you said last time. What could have been done differently? I don't know, you tell me. I would say that you chose the right people at least. Oh, okay. That's different. In addition, if you think about what those business cards are made of, you might just find someone with the right kind of ability. Okay, I was right. I thought that sounded weird, but I was right. It is the Shikigami ability. Okay, maybe we should try it again then. If you think about what those business cards are made of, right? They're made of paper, and she can make paper fly away to the person whose name is on it, and it has Ikoma's name on it. But the thing is, it's not his real name. That's the thing. I don't. His name. He stole that name from somebody. But maybe that doesn't matter for her ability. Yeah. But he said the right people, so I still do need Soto to do something. So I still need him to use his curse. I guess after the cards get... Oh, that's so strange. It's such a strange thing that she can take all the business cards in the local area. Or maybe he needs to... Okay. Maybe Soto needs to use the Feast of Shadows, which will make the range of curses go farther, and then that will let Cersei's curse reach all the business cards in the area to make them Shikigami messages, and then make them fly back to him. Therefore, he cannot murder everybody. I'm gonna try that. Those two things actually seem like they would go together, so let's try that. Start from the plane details. Yeah, here we go. This has been one of the harder puzzles in this. Because the hard thing about this game is they'll throw these puzzles at you, but sometimes you won't have the data yet. But this one actually, I've known these things the whole time. So, okay, Kiryu, use a Feast of Shadows, and let's double check that it does what I think it does. I'm pretty sure that's what I read earlier. The ability to create a domain in which the potency and range of certain types of spiritual abilities are increased. Yeah, only effective at night, which it is night, and Soto himself is able to create a domain of up to a kilometer in range. And then that's going to be paired with Circe's ability, which is called Chikigami. The ability to turn a piece of paper with an individual's name written on it into a butterfly, which will return to the individual in question. Although she does not have to be the one who wrote the name, it must be Circe who casts a spell on the paper. It's just weird to me that she'd be able to cast spells on paper that she doesn't even know where it is. But I guess maybe that's the Feast of Shadows it's supposed to aid in. That's my thought, so let's try it. Yushikigami. Conform. Let's try that. Two in total. That's the plan. I'm gonna go praise the people, fulfill a role of the plan. I have to plan to see you to give me the word. It's funny because I feel like I brought the Shikigami thing up the first time, so it's like I was on the right track. What, you selfish little brat? Very well, I'll make you regret that choice. Let's see how long that defiance of yours holds out. And then something different? Not the samurai? Oh, not the samurai. A new chapter? Okay, we got it. I was right. That is what it is. Thank goodness. All right, let's see. I might end up doing this chapter and then we'll call it because I'm gonna go for 3 hours, and that will hopefully leave us with just trying to figure out the mermaid flesh thing, because this is going to like save everybody, but we still need to get Sato some mermaid flesh so she can be with Yuza for 800 years. But we'll probably get another ending here, so let's try this. All right, conclusion. Yuza comes up with a plan to prevent Kipe Ikoma's curse and entrust it to Soto Kiryu. Now for the moment of truth. Oh, here we go. Ha ha ha. 2 or 3 people died from that curse just now. I hope you're happy with yourself.
No.
Tell you what, if you snivel and weep and beg my forgiveness, I'll let you off easy. Huh?
Oh? Something's off. Could this mean they found a way to stop the curse? Ah.
Bunch of butterflies coming out of nowhere. There they are. Whoa, the Shikigami. It is a pretty cool ability. Ah, what the fuck? Paper butterflies.
Whoa, I still can't believe what I'm seeing. Those cards actually turned into butterflies and started flapping around.
Turning a bunch of business cards into a swarm of Shikigami. Only you could think of something like that out there, Yuza. I figured if you could turn a piece of paper with someone's name on it written into a Shikigami... Sorry, I said that wrong. I figured if you could turn a piece of paper with someone's name written on it into a Shikigami, business cards would work just as well. And since Mr. Kiryu was able to extend the effect to cover the entire island, I was sure it'd work. But it's still a relief to see I was right. It was a great idea. Now all we have to do is track down those cards and leave the rest up to Mr. Kiryu and his powers. Well, don't touch the cards, though, because if it's in your possession, you could die. You gotta take care of Tomoshige first. Stop right there. Now that your curse is useless, I have no reason to hold back any longer. Tyranno Tomoshige, I hereby place you under arrest. Ah, that fucking hurts. Screw you. Oh, Sato, how dare you toy with me, you fucking bitch.
Sorry, thanks for the offer and all, but I'd rather you died alone.
Curse you! How could you do this to me, Osato? Why? 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 Come along quietly. I'm warning you. It will be worse for you if you don't. Ah, fuck! Damn it! Osato, you! Yeah, fuck you, Tomoshige.
And so, Kikikoma was arrested, and the last of the calamities threatening Kamishima was averted. I'm assuming this is Sato talking. And both Mr. Kiryu and Miss Shiki thanked us again and again. They seemed truly grateful for everything we had done, including putting an end to the curse of the raging waves. Azumi seemed pretty pleased with himself, and even though he brushed it off as only natural for us islanders to defend our home, apparently the Coast Guard is on its way to assist with the investigation into Mr. Wakamura's death. Miss Shiki and Mr. Kiryu are planning to use the Coast Guard's boat to escort Ikoma to the mainland. Speaking of Ikoma, it seems he accepted his fate and confessed to everything.
Nice. Got him. Let's read the update down here. Wait, where does the update start? I feel like we already read a part of this, though. Let's see. As a modern age approached, he accumulated his resentment, eventually grew so strong he gained a wield curse. Yeah, we read that last time. She felt a sudden intense longing for a long-lost time. Usually it has the dots where there's an update, because it says there's something new. Upon reaching Kamishima, he headed straight for the Wakamura residence, making sure he... Okay, so yeah, there's a little bit new here. They just didn't put the dots. Let's go, like, maybe from right here. To that end, he conferred his curse stone into Kikuko Susui, who had stationed on Kamishima to monitor the sacred sanctuary and try to threaten Osato into giving herself up. However, when he lost contact with Kikuko, he realized that his plan had failed, and with the end of his lifespan drawing near, decided to head to Kamishima himself. Fortunately, he had secretly been supporting those who sought to lift the curse of the raging waves, and the culmination of their efforts saw the curse broken at last. However, at the time of its dispelling, Tomoshige found himself confined to a cell in the Yamashina estate. Oh, so he was confined to a cell in there. So he was in the cell. Okay. I thought he must have visited, but that makes sense why they were in a cell there then. Yoshiatsu, whose patience with him had worn thin due to the increasing selfishness of his actions, including his abandonment of his search for mermaids in the Tamachibako, had decided to punish him for his insubordination. This would prove insufficient to stop Tomoshige. Sensing that the curse had been broken and desperate to reach Kamishima, he used his curse to kill Yoshiatsu without hesitation, having placed the symbol it used as a target throughout the mansion in advance. Upon reaching Kamishima, he headed straight for the Wakamura residence, making sure to hand his business card to any islanders he encountered on the way. After handing his business card to Shinobu with a pleasant smile, he pressed him to hand over Osato without delay, before using his curse to kill him on the spot upon his refusal. Feeling the end of his lifespan fast approaching, only one thing mattered to Tomoshige now, finding Osato and fulfilling his desire to die together with her. So we got the information that he was locked in the cell, and that's how he killed the old guy, and that he killed Wakamura after he demanded Osato, which I guess we could have assumed. And while he didn't actually name any names, Kikuko, who is under house arrest after plotting to use her curse to commit murder, is going to be escorted off the island with him. I guess this is probably Yuza talking, actually. Before Mishiki and her assistant departed, they summoned me for a private word. Yeah, so, my bad. I thought it was Sato for some reason. But when he said the naming any names thing, because he knew Kikuko was going to be a murderer because of a vision he saw. Huh? You want me to join the Paranormal Affairs Bureau? Oh, nice. Hell yeah, Yuza. Getting a job, dude.
It was Soto's suggestion, actually. He's quite impressed with everything you achieved. And I'm all for it. It would make it easier for you to keep your immortality a secret. Maybe even put it to good use.
Wait, are you saying you'll send me into dangerous situations just because I can't die?
You know, I actually hadn't thought of that, but it's not a bad idea.
I think not, ma'am. That would make it impossible to keep his identity a secret.
I know. I was just kidding. A shame, though.
I heard that. Even so, Yuza, this would require rigorous training to help you harness and control your psychic abilities. The offer only stands if you are prepared to put yourself through that, and it won't be easy.
Still, seeing as you'd be under our surveillance, you'd be able to go about your life with a little more freedom. Seems to me that's not a bad deal for someone in your position, all things considered, so what do you say?
What happens if I refuse? Will you arrest me? Well, we do have you to thank for wrapping our investigations here. Or wrapping up, sorry, our investigations here. So if you'd prefer a quiet life on Kamishima, we'll turn a blind eye and leave you be. But just so we're clear, at the first sign of you being on the move, we'll be on our way over here to take you away. Okay, I understand. In that case, I'm going to need some time to think this over. Would that be alright? Really? I thought it'd be an easy decision. But I suppose there's plenty of time. Just contact me when you've made up your mind. Oh, before I forget, there's something else I've been meaning to ask you. Yes? The funny thing is, I wasn't planning on coming to Kamishima at all today. Then, out of nowhere, I changed my mind. That wasn't your doing, was it?
No, it was my doing.
Huh? What do you mean? See, I kept getting the feeling I was being watched, or even manipulated. Especially this morning when I changed plans to set out for Kamishima. It didn't feel like my decision somehow. It was almost as if someone was guiding us here. Oh, actually, I felt something similar to that as well. I thought it was the Tomokazuki doing it, since it only started happening after that encounter. But why would you think it was me? I don't know. Something about it reminded me of you, like it was close to you or something. Close to me? Anyway, it seems I was wrong. Though I'm not sure what else it could be, unless I'm possessed by a spirit or something. That is out of the question. If either of you were possessed, I would be the first to know. Given that even I cannot perceive the origin of this sensation, it must be something truly extraordinary. The thing is, I also get the feeling that we have this mysterious watcher to thank for everything turning out the way it did. You're welcome.
I think it's funny how they're like making the player a part of the story.
Right? That's how it seemed to me too. Well, whatever it was, I can't sense it anymore, so I suppose there's no use worrying over it now that the situation has been resolved. True. And that's where we left it. But then...
But then we can go see Avi at the jetty, or Chuo Street to see what's his name? Toshiro? Let's go see Avi, I guess.
Out of nowhere, Avi and Cersei, with whom I'd barely spoken to in this future, came up to talk to us.
Hey, aren't you the kids who dealt with the curse that was hanging over the island? When I learned of your heroic deeds from Yumiko, I simply had to make your acquaintance.
Oh, nice to meet you. I've actually heard about you as well.
Oh, you hear that, Cersei? Our reputations precede us.
I wouldn't go that far. We just stand out too much.
Oh, no, I've only heard good things, I promise. You're Arnov, right? The fantasy author who's come to Japan looking for adventure?
What's that? Did I hear you say the bachelor fantasy author whose novels don't sell and who had to empty his savings just to visit Japan? Humbug, I say! Stick a sock in it and mind your own beeswax. And Yuza and Avi said it at the same time. Now that's just creepy. How do you know my catchphrases? I assure you that was the first time I've uttered those words on Japanese soil. It was. I'm very confused. Whoops, I guess it just came to me? It would appear you have a mysterious secret up your sleeve, Yuza. Who, me? No, But setting that aside for the moment, there's something I'd like to ask you. This afternoon, I was struck by a sudden desire to visit this jetty. Might you have had something to do with that? Huh? You too? You mean I'm not the first? Yeah, someone else asked me that as well, but I swear I haven't done anything. I see. Another question. I hear the request to put Cersei's Shikigami ability to use what came from you. Mind telling me how you knew about that? Well, I guess you could say that Tomokazuki is responsible for both of those things. The Tomokazuki? Explaining what that is to him. I see. So you encountered a Tomokazuki bearing the memories of a different future. And you believe that this same being, or creature, or what have you, has secretly been guiding all of us ever since.
Huh. I never heard of anything like that before.
That would explain how you knew about Cersei Shikigami. If your theory is correct, I suppose we should all be grateful for this Tomokazuki for bringing about such a peaceful conclusion, but on the other hand, I nearly died because of this.
Really? So what? Last I checked, you're still kicking.
Yes, well, one can't help feeling a little used, as it were, though I suppose I ought to be thankful for my life nonetheless. Besides, it would take a lot more than this to upset me. I've made it through all manner of do-or-die moments and deadly situations before now. Wow, you must be pretty tough. I'll never get my hands on that treasure now. Still, I suppose I did get quite an adventure in exchange, so fair is fair. Well then, good luck to you, Yuza. Oh, thanks? All this curse business has tuckered us out, so we'll be spending the night here on Kamishima and setting sail for home on the morrow. I'm glad I had a chance to speak with you before we left. You've my gratitude. Take care now. And off they went. We're still gonna talk to Shotaro? But there was more to come. Yeah, we gotta talk to Shotaro. He lost his dad, dude. Everybody else was like, hey, everything's all hunky-dory, but Shotaro's dad is dead. That is still true. Poor guy. We bumped into Shotaro, who seemed to be on the verge of a mental breakdown after hearing about his father's death. He had already heard about the arrest of the culprit, a man named Ikoma. However, it quickly became apparent that it wasn't grief that was weighing on him so heavily.
Shotaro, I don't even know what to say. I'm so sorry. Please let us know if there's anything we can do to help you through this, okay?
Help me through this? What, do you think I'm sad or something? Spare me your inane comments.
I didn't mean to upset you.
Shotaro, could you calm down? It's not like you to shout like that. Ha, as if you plebeians could understand my troubles. Wait, what the hell is Shotaro saying? Has he got a secret? But since you're here, Sato, pack your belongings and get out. I won't have you in my house any longer.
Wait, what?
You're immortal, aren't you? You're not even human. It's disgusting. As for what we discussed this afternoon, you can just forget about it. Now that the old man's gone, I have no obligation to care for you. You are a plague upon this island, and I hope I never see your face again. Damn, dude. He was like confessing that he wanted to be with her earlier.
Then I guess there's nothing left to say. What gives, Shotaro? Why are you being so horrible all of a sudden?
Yeah, Shotaro. You're being a real jerk. Did you have to go that far? No, shut it. I can't afford to be nice anymore. Not that I expect you to understand that. You have no idea what it means to inherit my old man's legacy. Pretty sure it means you're lucky. He was loaded, wasn't he? Ha, shows what you know. Let me tell you something about my old man. He was good at what he did, but reckless. He racked up heavy debts, walking a fine line between huge payouts and total ruin. All his success were a combination of a killer luck and sheer cunning, making his shoes almost impossible to fill. Not only that, but he had his fingers in a lot of shady pies, from loan sharking to land speculating that kept him just this side of the law. Whoa, really? Taking over for him means shouldering all those risks myself, and if I can't cut it, it's a one-way street to bankruptcy. That's what the old man saddled me with. It's all up to me now, and there's no way out. Dude, that does sound pretty rough, dude.
Shotaro.
Isn't turning the inheritance down an option? Are you out of your mind? If I did that, I'd have nothing left. And after the upbringing I've had, I couldn't handle being poor. Damn it all. What am I to do? It's like, what a shitty thing to say. I can't handle being poor after I've been rich for so long.
Hey, Shotaro? If it helps, I sort of get how you feel.
Huh? You? What would an impoverished nobody like you possibly understand?
Well, you see, I'm kind of in the same boat.
What are you saying?
Oh, you're talking about that thing you found out about today, huh? Yeah, guess Shotaro's the only one I haven't told yet, so turns out.
I think her dad was the guy who got killed as well. He's the other guy. Tsukasa repeated her story, which we had heard earlier that day. When the Coast Guard arrived to investigate Mr. Wakamura's death, a detective from the prefectural police accompanied them and requested a meeting with Tsukasa. The officer announced that the tycoon Yoshiatsu Yamashina, alias Unkaku Dono, had passed away, and that his will had just been unsealed. It stated as follows: I, Yoshiatsu Yamashina, hereby bequeath all my assets to Tsukasa Awao of Kamishima. An official notice would be sent to her at a later date, but the officer had thought it best to give Tsukasa a chance to prepare herself ahead of time. As soon as she had heard the news, Tsukasa's mother let out a whoop and raised her arms in a victory pose. Okay. She made quite a spectacle, jumping for joy and shouting things like, "Take that!" and "Jackpot!" and "I knew he'd pay off sooner or later." Shocked and confused at this previously unseen side of her mother, Tsukasa had bolted from the house without a backwards glance. What? You mean to tell me that you are going to inherit Yamashina's estate? All of it?
It's a mystery to me as well. He was, like, really famous, right? I can't wrap my head around it. What was he thinking, leaving all that to me? It's too much. His total assets added up to something like 5 billion yen. At least that's what I was told. I can't even imagine it.
You don't say.
No one's given me a chance to turn it down, but I don't know how to handle this. Still, he did try to kidnap Sato, and who knows what other shady stuff he was up to. Can't help but feeling I should take responsibility.
Tsukasa, are you seriously gonna accept?
I guess so. I feel so lost, but I mean, if Shotaro's in the same boat...
Well, it's a big deal. You'll become a millionaire overnight. You'll be like a celebrity, and won't have time for us little people anymore, huh?
Huh? I don't want that. If I can't hang out with you guys, I'm turning it down.
No, Tsukasa. The inheritance is yours, as it should be. There's nothing to fear. I'll help you.
You mean it? I'd be super grateful, but...
I guess this is kind of nice for them, at least for Tsukasa, because she's had a crush on Shotaro, like, this whole time. That was, like, at the beginning of the story. It was all her, like, her whole motivation was her crush on this guy. Of course. I've always known you were a clever girl. You have no trouble handling Yamashina's estate. In fact, why don't we be partners? You can be my fiancé. Huh? Wow, that was fast, dude.
Oh boy.
What the hell, man? You can't just pop the question out of nowhere like that. Unkaku Dono was one of my old man's backers. I'm sure it would be easier to manage our estates if we combine our wealth.
Oh, but I...
This is not how Tsukasa wanted this to go. Come now, there's no need to be coy. I know you're fond of me, Tsukasa. Dude, what a douchebag.
Huh? How did you know?
What? You wound me. How could I miss the heartbeat of your gaze? I am not so unfeeling as you suppose. Besides, the feeling's mutual. You've grown into an attractive young woman. Don't think I haven't noticed.
You have? I mean, Oh, this is all too much.
Tsukasa! Did Azumi have a crush on Tsukasa? Because I can see that happening. This is our chance, don't you think? We've known each other for so long, there can be no doubt we're a match made in heaven. And Sato's just like, what the hell? You were trying to, like, be with me earlier today.
Oh gosh, what should I do? I don't know anymore.
I don't know anymore.
My mind's gone blank. This is just too much. I need some time to think. Wah!
She's crying again.
Tsukasa, wait up.
Even your blush is adorable. I'll be waiting. Don't disappoint me now. That's enough, Shotaro. You've taken this way too far. Oh? Do you have any idea how much Tsukasa cares for you? Her feelings for you are real. I understand her feelings perfectly. Better yet, I reciprocate them. Don't tell me you have an objection. You bet I do. You're just using her. Anyone can see that. The timing's way too convenient. If you go through with this, you'll just end up hurting her, you heartless jerk. Not only are your manners lacking, but your wits as well. You're mistaken. My feelings for her are genuine. You liar! You look like you were drowning till you found out about her inheritance. There's no way someone as selfish as you could make Tsukasa happy. And give him a all punch to the face, Azumi. I suggest you drop this. Frankly, it does not concern you. Azumi. Must I spell it out for you? This is between Tsukasa and myself. Keep your nose out of it. God damn it! Well, now that we understand each other, I'll take my leave. God, what a loser, dude. Douchebag. And off he went. Dude, what a crazy turn of events there. I did not expect that to happen. And then... No, it's okay. And then we're going to go to the bay to talk to Tsukasa. Okay. Later, Tsukasa called us together, saying we needed to talk to... saying she needed to talk to us tonight. We decided to meet up here. The police investigation was in full swing in the town center and around the Wakamura residence, but out in the bay, everything was quiet. You okay now, Tsukasa?
Kinda. Some lawyer wants me to go meet him the day after tomorrow. But I'm not even sure what I want to do yet, and... honestly, still in shock over what happened earlier.
Tsukasa, don't rush this, okay? You shouldn't make a big decision like this till you feel ready. This is about your future, no one else's. You gotta think it over carefully and do what's best for you.
Asami, you're right. Thanks for worrying about me. But I didn't call you guys here to talk about that. Sato, there's something I've got to know. Oh, okay. What is it? See, I overheard a bit of what went down with Ikoma when I was up on the roof earlier. You've been alive for 800 years, right? It sounded like your lifespan must be coming to an end pretty soon. Was that for real? Sorry. I didn't know how to tell you. So it's true. Yeah, I don't remember anything from that far back, but I've always known how long I've had left.
Seriously? Then how long?
I think tomorrow might be my last day.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow night. This body of mine will fade away like a spray of seafoam. Why didn't you say something? There's so little time left.
Isn't there anything we can do to delay it? Come on, please tell me there's some way to change this. Yeah, Yuza knows. Oh, whoa, that's interesting. So there will be another thing here later. Interesting, but all I can do is stay silent right now. Oh, then Yuza starts crying.
I wish I could say otherwise, but there's nothing we can do. No, I don't want to say goodbye. Please don't leave us, Sato.
Sato, Tsukasa.
Please, there's no need for tears, Tsukasa. The truth is, I'm content with this. You are? I am. 400 years ago, I became a sacrifice to protect everyone from the curse. And now, not only is the curse of the Raging Waves broken, but so many other problems have been resolved as well. Like with the mermaids, in Tomoshige, after all this time, everything is finally settled. Kamishima is finally safe. It's a happy ending. Thanks to you guys, I fulfilled the purpose of this long life I was cursed with. It actually meant something, and for that, I can't thank you enough. Stop it, Sato. That's not true. Huh? All that is just stuff you got mixed up in. You never asked for any of it. So don't say you fulfilled your purpose. This isn't a happy ending at all. You should have had to go through any of those things. None of it was your responsibility. Sato, from the moment you were made an 800-year immortal, you've been just used.
She's right, Sato. You deserve a way better life than that. If all you've done is get dragged into Tomoshige's schemes time and time again, that's just too sad. Don't worry, guys. We're trying to fix it. We just gotta go through like another timeline.
Look. Be honest with yourself. Are you really content? What about your happiness, Sato? My happiness. After being forced to live for centuries, this can't be how you wanted things to end. You haven't had a chance to do anything for yourself. If you don't get to live happily, at least for a little while, after all that you've been through, it'd be so unfair. I couldn't stand it. Thanks, Tsukasa. You're the best friend I could ask for. But when I said I was content, I meant it. I really am. I was never supposed to live in this modern age. When I gave my life to end the curse, I thought that would be it. But it wasn't. I got to experience a time unlike anything I'd ever known and meet so many people. Every day has been a whirlwind of activity. Above all, I've made some really good friends who care for me so much they'll even cry for me. I've had so much fun these past few months. I can't even begin to describe it. It's a miracle. I've been happier than I've ever thought possible. So I have no regrets. Seriously.
Sato, I'm so sorry. I feel so powerless. I just wish I could do something for you. Dude, Azumi wants to save everybody, dude.
Me too. I'm sorry, Sato. If I'd only known. I've been so wrapped up in my own problems. Aww. You know, I've always been the one left behind. I've never had anyone grieve for me. Turns out, it's a pretty nice feeling. Being the center of attention suits me just fine. Don't hold back now.
Gee, Sato. Only you could say something like that at a time like this. Yeah, poor Yuza. He's just being silent. Sato,
Yes?
I'm so sorry. Seriously, I feel so bad. I wish I could have... Yuza.
Oh, I didn't know you were such a crybaby, Yuza. Come on, can't you be your usual goofy self? I could really use a laugh. You guys feel that bad, huh? And I guess you'll just have to make it up to me. For starters, you better keep your promise to hang out tomorrow. And I expect you to enjoy every last second to the fullest. Do that, and I guess I'll forgive you.
Sato.
You're leaving the island tomorrow anyway, right, Tsukasa? Yeah, probably. Then no more tears. If we can have just one more day of fun, spend one more day together like we always have, nothing would make me happier. Sounds to me like you're letting us off easy. So you think, but I'm counting on you to help me overwrite all those bad memories with a bunch of happy ones. It'll be a busy day. Sato. Right. Then that's what we'll do.
Yeah, you can count on us. Dozens of happy memories coming right up. Hey, Yuza, quit moping already. That was your cue. If ever there was a time for one of your oddball jokes, it's right now.
I know.
That night, we stayed out in the bay, talking and swapping stories until the sun came up. But there was a rule. We had to answer any question Sato asked us honestly, without hiding anything. Which meant that gasps and chuckles inevitably followed with each reveal. We chatted for hours without once running out of things to share. We talked about the past, the future, our dreams, everything in our hearts. And throughout it all, Sato couldn't stop smiling. As for me, I was determined to etch every detail of Sato Shiranami into my memory, every word and gesture, every expression on her face. Alright, we got a good ending, guys. Nice. Still not the best ending, though. I really wonder what the best ending's gonna be. Is it gonna be that we're gonna have to get the flesh from that cop lady? I really wonder. That will be kind of bizarre, because it feels like... I had not thought about it earlier. What was I thinking? Like, we're gonna have to not do... Like, we're not even gonna stop Ikoma. We'll just, like, disable him, I guess, somehow. What was I thinking? I had a thought earlier about how that could work. Because somehow we have to, like, basically take out Yumiko or something. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. I think you might have to try to save her life at some point. Yeah, that's definitely got to be the best ending. But they were talking about how taboo it would be. And then the night after our meeting. Alright, let's see what happens. Sato took a boat and went out into the bay alone, saying that she didn't want any of us to see her disappear. That was the last we saw of her. before she abandoned her transient form to the gentle waves and left this world behind for good. However, before she departed, she told us her final wish. And I vowed to carry it in my heart throughout the centuries that lay ahead as my own personal curse, impossible to dispel. It was a simple wish, in Sato's own words.
Remember me until your last breath.
Sato Shiranami's curse. Ending number 5. I feel like I missed an ending in there because we had like the curse of, or the curse of Kamishima, and then we had I think all of a sudden we jumped to 4. In fact, we maybe missed 2 of them. Then it was Tomoshige's thing. Oh yeah, because there's got to be one where Arnov becomes immortal somehow, so he's gonna get mermaid flesh somehow. So yeah, whenever we figure out mermaid flesh, well, that's weird that I must have been able to get him, but I didn't do him. Probably because I didn't fail in some moment I was supposed to. You've done well to make it this far. I applaud your efforts. Here ends the tale that has been painstakingly woven over the past 800 years on Kamishima of Ise Bay. Thanks to you, peace has descended upon the island once more. For that, you have my sincerest gratitude. While a few sacrifices may have been made along the way, we must content ourselves with the fact that they were within permissible limits. Now, while our story does end here, if its conclusion does not sit quite right with you, you may wish to explore possibilities that would result in a different outcome. On the other hand, I could simply tell you what the missing pieces are if you prefer. No, I wanna... No thanks, I'll figure it out. Ah, I had a feeling you might say that. My apologies for making such an undignified proposal. I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors. I shall take my leave of you now, until next we meet. So if it's not going to give me anything else on the storyline thing, then... Okay, we do have a different thing that we could do within conclusion. Okay. So that's a new thing we can explore. But the flesh, there's got to be something about the flesh. And there's that load file that has that text in it. Okay, that's what we're going to have to do next week. Next week's going to be a hardcore investigation one. So if you guys want to check that out, come by on Sunday. Maybe I could use some help even. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream for this week here. It's been great. I'm so glad that we got to like a nice ending there. And we learned of Yuza and Sato's love, which I think is so nice, so heartwarming. I love that. So hopefully we'll be able to get them to stay together for 800 years. But yeah, that'll be next week. But yeah, so yeah, thanks again everybody for coming by. Appreciate it. So great to see you guys in the chat and hear from y'all. Hopefully you guys, if you can, will stop by next week and we'll have a good time then. So next Sunday, peace out, my man. Yeah, next Sunday, exactly. Yeah, about the same time, same place. So yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye. Find some mermaid flesh and stay alive forever. See ya.